Pat, slap my ass! It's time for conversation with the big guy, pal!
Welcome to Conversation with the Big Guy. I am the big guy, Ryback, and I'm sitting here with the one, Pat Buck.
Welcome to Conversation with the Big Guy. You just said that. I don't know why I just said that, but I'm happy to be here again.
Are you trying to become the host? I feel like you're slowly taking this away from me.
Slowly transitioning this to being my own show.
Who would be your co-host?
I don't think I would go co-host. I think I would just
me.
Yeah, switch it around.
We should reverse roles one of these weeks, actually.
Oh yeah, we can do that. I mean, it's the same shit. Welcome to Conversation with the Big Guy. I'm not the big guy.
Yeah.
I'm sitting here with the one, Ryback Reeves.
That's the only thing that's different on the show. Everything else is just the same. It goes back to the original format.
So we're back after a year. We're keeping this going. How's your week? What's going on?
Oh, it's a good week. I'm getting ready. I fly out tomorrow for a couple more wrestling shows for the Ryback Regeneration. Keep that streak alive. I'm 2-0 since I came back. I don't know if you know that or not, but and also the Australian heavyweight champion.
Are you defending that? Are you defending that title on these upcoming shows or no?
I don't have it with me. It's still in Australia, so
okay.
It would have been nice. That's a good gimmick to do. You defend another promotion's belt for the other ones, and buys you a little protection.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Sure.
It's I was thinking I got the Intercontinental Championship here still. I was thinking of airbrushing the back of it and just still being the Intercontinental Champion on all my appearances.
So you mean for meet and greets, or you want to wear it to the ring and actually like defend it?
Defend it. Like it's in my mind, I never lost it.
Okay.
It's just I just holding on to it. You know what I mean? And everyone's like, man, but it's cool. It's the championship, so it's or that or make up the big guy championship. That one that one I only defend against big guys, other big guys.
So what,
300 pounds plus,
300 and more.
Yeah.
So you would have Jesus. Who would be on that list? You got Wrecking Ball, Legursky, Fala.
Keith Lee.
Is Keith Lee over 300? Yeah, he's got to be 300.
He has to be. He's huge.
Yeah.
He's about, how tall is he?
He's a tall dude. I think he's got to be over 6'4", right? Maybe.
Yeah, because I met him at the Northeast Wrestling on one of them, and he's not short.
Okay.
That's for sure. Yeah, he's definitely a big guy. So yeah, even if he was 6'2", he's thick. So I would imagine he's definitely over 300.
What are the requirements though to be a big guy? Is it height or is it width? How do you classify that?
I feel like it's a combination of both. So here's like Big E is just tall enough to be a big guy.
So there is a cutoff. There's a cutoff.
I feel like there has to be, because if you don't, then all of a sudden you got people like you got the dicks running around out there, you know, and you're gonna say they're big guys. I mean, they're thick, but they were shorter guys.
They're big little guys. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's you want to be able to. For the average human, you have to be able to have them in awe of you of some way, shape, or form. And even people that are taller than you, they admire you for your width if you're just tall enough still.
So what do you think the cutoff height is? What is Big E? 6 foot?
Whatever Big E is.
That's it.
Maybe, yeah, that's it. Just it starts with Big E and it ends with, I don't know, Braun. But it's somewhere in that. You know, there's many different levels of big guys, but it's. I would like for him to work out too. I feel like I don't care what you look like, just work out.
Oh, so if you're like genetically big by, thicker frame, you would be more ideal if you hit the gym once in a while. Is that what you're saying?
I just think as long as you just work out, you have some muscle to you.
Mm-hmm.
You know? I don't know. That's just my take on it. You're an athlete.
I think
still capable of being an athlete.
I just saw this before we sat down, that I think you're wrestling, or the way Big Mike's advertising it, because he doesn't return fucking text messages, They put up an advertisement of you versus Warbeard Hansen. I don't know if you're familiar with him.
Is that another heavy set guy?
He is a bigger guy, but not in the sense of like a wrecking ball. Like he's probably in the 285 pounds.
We're going to have to talk to him. I'm not. He's a Jesus Christ. The best part is I'll just do it in person. And fuck, I'm legitimately. I don't even want to talk about it right now.
No, I understand.
We have special requests right now. Like I've just spent all this money to repair myself, and we'll take care of that off the air.
But also, no, I think there's more to that. Just not to cut off with that. I think you're in the mind frame. Like, look, how many big guy on big guy matches can they see? That's not doing anything for you. The matchups are better. Actually, I was watching SummerSlam with a group of people this weekend, and we were just talking about how big on big doesn't work. Really, it's not that. You know what I mean?
It's the same style. So I feel like anytime whenever you put the same style against the same style, it always tends to clash. I feel like a little bit to some degree, but the big versus big is it's I don't know. It's just it's never. It could be done, and it's just I feel like it's been done so much. It's just there's no I don't know. It's just not entertaining to me. Just from a performer's point of view. In there, it's just two big burly guys. Yeah, we'll grunt a little bit. We'll beat our chest. We'll no sell some tackles.
Sure, and
then we'll just then we'll do a bunch of shit.
All right.
But no, it's there's still. I guess they have appeal to certain people that like to hire independent wrestlers to come in and put them in chokeholds and things of that nature. They typically like to see two big, strong guys just lock horns and just tussle around the ring and grapple with each other and put each other in vulnerable holds. But it's not so much my cup of tea.
Understood. Well, it's been a busy week. I just came home tonight. I trained a new group of I trained a group of non-wrestlers tonight. I don't know if I told you about this.
No.
So I got contacted recently from a group of from a lightsaber guild. So what they are is they're a group of Star Wars fans that put on lightsaber contests, or basically like reenactments at Comic-Cons and different shows, and they travel around, doing these performances. They actually work for Star Wars, and they wanted to learn how to basically add wrestling moves to their performance. So I had 15 guys come in tonight from this, never wrestled before, and they were basically wondering how I can teach them stuff that they can use in their performances. And I did the best I could. Some were athletic, some maybe not so much, but I taught this group how to fake fight for their up and coming Star Wars performance.
Get the fuck out.
Yeah, I swear. I mean, it's not like a movie performance. They're a group of like they actually work for the company called Lucasfilm, but they're different city. They're like volunteers, but somehow they're not paid actors, but their costumes and a lot of their stuff is paid for. So when you go to Comic-Cons, like we've been to Comic-Cons before, but in between they have like shows. So you can sit down and watch like, oh shit, here's a Star Wars show and there's fucking 100 people fighting with lightsabers and doing these things. But they wanted to come down and they heard about my school and they wanted to learn they're like, they didn't know how to sell. They didn't know how to throw punches, and they wanted to learn how to do a couple.
They could fit right in wrestling.
Well, I thought about it. I was like, man, this could be a great gig. Like I think there's a place for fight coordinators and like not movie stuff, but maybe movie stuff for pro wrestlers. Like, I'm like, oh
wait, it's already what pro wrestling is becoming, Pat.
Yeah,
it's just one big stunt.
That's all it is.
It's me and old Stu Bennett had a little talk about this the other day. I was gonna say though, and I'll come right back to that. I could just see the kids watching this Star Wars. Mommy, why are they throwing super kicks and telling each other to suck it and doing too sweets with each other? Is that what you taught them, Pat?
I did teach them. What did I teach them? Okay, first we started with rolls, and then forward rolls, and then back rolls, side rolls. And then I taught them, here's the thing that's hard. You have a fucking sword in your hand. So how much wrestling can you do when you have a lightsaber in your hand? So I taught them a couple like wrist locks, like one.
Wait, wrist lock? I thought you would teach them just fucking super kicks and punches and spinning back elbows. And
I did teach them how to throw a jab, how to throw a couple punches, how to throw a couple kicks, that old side kick, like that little, shuffle side kick. I didn't do any super kicks because I just think they'd mess it up.
No, I feel like that's what you need to be teaching these guys. And I would also like to see you teaching them not just the low blow, but throw a fucking roll in there before they do the low blow. Because I feel like everyone likes to just goddamn roll now for no reason. There's zero psychology to run in and do a backwards roll. One of the pet peeves I have, do you know what I'm talking about?
Absolutely, yeah.
I don't know look at me, everybody. I can do a back roll. I watch it. I just don't understand it, Pat.
Maybe you can clarify that. What sequence or what did you see that drives you nuts?
If you run into the corner and attack somebody, and then you just do a backwards roll to run right back into them,
okay.
I don't see it. It's not as efficient as just turning around and backing up. I feel like it's a bigger waste of energy. Mm-hmm. And I would just like to see somebody just boot somebody's head off when they do a backwards roll next time. Just like you see it all the time.
You do.
And I get it. From a fight standpoint, because to me, Pat, I'm looking at it as it's still a fight.
Yeah,
and
it's
not a goddamn fucking fight scene from a movie.
So how do you feel about people that may do like an up and over twist and then do a roll and then maybe duck a clothesline and throw a couple arm drags? Are you okay with that?
I feel like that's something is that what you do?
That is what I do.
It's showing off. I don't understand you could do all the same thing without the roll. But I don't know. God damn it. I wasn't expecting you to tell me that.
No, I understand. There's times where I watch it too where, I can't stand, another pet peeve is like shooting someone to the corner and then deciding I'm just going to keep backing up all the way to the other corner to then run forward again. Like the only one who got away with that to me was Stinger when he would do that. But
well, you're creating more momentum though with the more room that you have to run.
But that
makes sense from a psychology standpoint.
While the person just sits there in the corner like an asshole, just hanging out.
Well, it depends what you do to them before that.
What if you just shoot them in? So that hard buckle is going to magnetize them to be held in the corner until they wait for the running splash or whatever.
If Bret Hart's taking that turnbuckle, I believe it.
Well, Bret Hart would pop out, though, if he took it, or he goes right down. I mean, that's...
Maybe you wait for him to come up, but I'm saying he made you believe that turnbuckle hurt him.
The Harts were the best of the buckles.
There's nobody they will ever touch. Bret Hart took the best turnbuckles, in my opinion.
What was this? Is there a secret to that? Because I've tried to and almost fucking paralyzed myself by like running into the buckle like that.
I think height. I think sometimes it depends on your height, but the way it is, I love taking hard buckles, but you got to sit in with your ass. You got to get your ass on that second buckle just right to where that top buckle, where it literally disperses across your from your ass and your top of your mid back just perfectly.
Okay. And
I would love to take, like on live events, take hard buckles. It's always a cool thing when you could take a good hard buckle and get the crowd to go,
100%.
It's very rewarding. And it doesn't happen every time, but it's little things like that. I don't know. I just think if you take it right, it's.
I just noticed, like you said, like Bret was, because Bret would do the sternum bump, like when
he took both front and back buckles better than anybody.
But Owen and Davey Boy, they would do them really great too. I'm like, is there a fucking secret that I don't know about? Because there's been times where I've charged at the buckle, and like sometimes I've connected, and sometimes I've fucking almost decapitated myself trying to take that sternum bump.
You want the secret?
Yeah.
It's very simple. Don't be a pussy.
I'm not. I'm running.
No, not you. I'm saying that's the mindset. Like I feel like whenever you see guys, you have to take it. That's one thing Bill DeMott always taught, that really attack the turnbuckles and just you run in. It's like just running. You have to convince yourself you're about to run and throw yourself into a bunch of pillows, and then when you hit it, you realize, fuck, they're not pillows. But hopefully you get that metal to clink just
that
right.
Sound.
That sound. That's what it's. That's that feeling. I'm not going to say that feeling is the equivalent of having sex, like with Arnold and Pumping Iron talking about the pump. But when you get that clink in the metal, It's a very
and the ring moves like a quarter of an
inch. The ring
inch.
just shifts. Or it feels like it moves.
Yeah.
There's something euphoric about that for a wrestler, at least in my fucked up head. I agree.
Off
on that, Pat. If you ever see me after taking a hard turnbuckle and I'm lying there selling with a full-blown erection, you'll know that. God damn it, he loves those turnbuckles.
Throw me again, brother.
Just 25 turnbuckles. Just why is Ryback shaking like that, Mom? Oh, he's having an orgasm, sweetie.
I'm big on turnbuckles too, because it's weird, like seeing some guys just aren't. A couple wrestlers have things where they're really good at one thing and they can't do another, and I've seen a lot of guys struggle with turnbuckles. And there's been
I struggle at everything.
Apparently, I've read the internet.
Yeah, it just.
I've been trying a new turnbuckle bump. I stole this when I was watching Mr. Perfect versus Big Boss Man. So you ever see Perfect's turnbuckle? Sometimes,
yeah.
So there's a trick. I never figured out how he did it, but you hit the buckle and then you got to time it just right. So when you hit, you also jump forward and use the top rope to flip as well. So he made it look non-hokey. He made it look, every bump look cool. So
yeah.
I've been trying that one and killing myself.
So you were going to try to add a front bump after the turnbuckle?
Yeah.
That's a tough one to pull off, Buckster. I don't know.
I've had about a 50% success ratio. There's also one I saw, which I can't remember who did it, where you hit the buckle so hard, but you actually hit the top part of the buckle, and then your feet can kind of swing through the top and middle rope, and you could actually take a face bump. If that makes any sense. You know what I mean? So when you hit, both feet are in the air, and then when they come back down. Yep. So
you take a face bump out of it. That one would be pretty cool. That's pretty interesting if you can make that believable. And that's let's see what wrestlers can come up with corner bumps and corner buckles and see what you could add to that. I would like to see you just take the buckle and sell it out, selling your back about 3 steps out, then you do the front bump. Just to really, really just put your own touch on that. Like, what's he doing? And it's his thing, man. I tell you. It rocked your spine and you try to walk it off and then your nerves twitch and you flip over with it. It's just do a little shake afterwards.
Like an HBK Hulk Hogan type sell, like the extraneous movements.
Yeah, that would make me very happy.
A lot of turnbuckle talk. While we're on it, who took a fucking hell of a turnbuckle? Who doesn't do this bump much? I don't know if anyone does it anymore. Sergeant Slaughter. He did a fucking...
Really?
He would do the turnbuckle bump where he'd jump up and his stomach would hit it and he'd flip to the outside of the ring. It was one of the few athletic moves he did, but man, I haven't seen a lot of guys do that.
Those guys are superior to a lot of today's talents in the basics.
Yeah.
Because that's not a knock on that's what they focused on, and it was just it was a different time and a different period, but they could do the basics extremely well, and they're icons.
I think you're completely right, and they were creative in a sense where I think they were older and they knew how to get the most mileage out of the athletic things they could do. Yeah,
yeah, I don't know. It was that mindset is gone. I feel like to a certain degree. We talked about that before, where Trent got mad because I talked about. What happened to guys just trying to outsell the other guy? Really, that was it's kind of gone now.
Trent got mad?
Not mad. He goes, don't tell secrets. He goes, I don't want guys selling. He goes, that's my thing. He goes, let them keep. But then I recently saw a tag match with old good Barreta in it, and I'm not going to say where I saw it, and it was a lot of no selling. So. Apparently, he works different styles sometimes. Sorry, Trent.
I have some heat with Barreta, so.
Oh, real heat?
I don't know. So here's the thing, man. He's been doing.
Oh, spill the beans.
He's been doing his thing over there in New Japan, and he's occasionally on Ring of Honor or whatever his schedule allows. Or I've seen him on quite a bit of independent shows, and we don't talk a lot, but we talk enough. And I've asked.
I thought you guys were pretty good friends. I didn't know.
I guess we're in a couple the group chat things and
that AOL group chat that I've always assumed you guys have.
yeah, that late night we all log in. We all have our
on your MySpace accounts and link up.
Our webcams are going. We're our screen names are ready. We're just chatting away.
Yeah. I still just like picturing that is how you guys all talk.
So Trentsky, he won't do any of my shows, or not won't. He never seems available for them, and I go, well, how are you available on every other show? But you haven't done mine in a long time. I've been trying to use you, man. Or I made a comment like, "Oh, Trent, I guess we have heat. You know, you're doing you can do every other show but mine." And then he made a snippy little comment back. He's like, "Yeah, sorry, man. I don't want to wrestle one of your students in a 6-minute opener." And I was like, "Oh, okay, man." So,
wait, has he done that before or something? And that's why he's
yeah, he did it once, but like the other times, he wrestled Moff. He wrestled Alex Reynolds. He wrestled really good people. So Trent's just being a little bitch and won't come to, for some reason. Won't.
Maybe I would like to wrestle Trent Barreta. Maybe we could bribe him to come wrestle me.
That would be great.
We'll put that. Trent Barreta, I want a piece of you. I want your ass at WrestlePro, Barreta. You hear me? Challenge issued.
Hell of a promo.
Yeah, that's on the fly, guys.
I think he's transitioning to being a big singles guy or possibly a heavyweight from what I hear.
Really?
Yeah.
Heavyweight? What is he, running a fucking cycle?
He looks great. He's always looked great. So,
he always has been in shape. But, I mean, he's never been a heavyweight.
Maybe he's going to pack on them pounds. He looks like, I think he's moving on up.
Pull a Brian Cage and jump multiple weight classes.
Yeah. I mean, Jesus.
Jeez. Oh, man. I don't know. Hopefully, you and Barreta could squash this and we can get him at WrestlePro.
Yeah, and, I'm sure.
Barreta versus Ryback in the main event. And we'll get that. I had a busy week of training has been good. Man, I did 144 burpees after my workout yesterday. And I'm now in my kick is I'm in the fighting spirit for this Conor McGregor Floyd Mayweather fight. I'm doing rounds for my conditioning. Why? Because I can't do any of my boxing or anything yet. And I just think I'm so like I always look at I feel like MMA guys, their conditioning and boxers, like boxers have to do 12 3-minute rounds. And I was like, could I do multiple rounds of 5 minutes on burpees with like a minute 90-second break? And dude, it is fucking hell. It is. But I did.
So how many burpees in 5 minutes?
So I'll start off the first round. I could usually get about 60.
Jesus.
Right there, which is, and then, but I found, I'm not in I just started all this training and like, I'm good on my volume. Like I could do burpees forever if time is not an issue. Mm-hmm. If I'm trying, to do them and really get the true benefit of them, you got to go for time. And the gold standard for burpees of being in good condition is 100 burpees in 10 minutes straight.
Yeah.
With no, that's not doing 5 minutes, resting 60 seconds, doing another 5 minutes. It's straight, just 10 minutes. Do as many burpees as you can. If you could do 100 in 10 minutes, you're in good condition.
But I'm saying you can take a okay. So you have 10 minutes. The clock's running. You're saying as long as you get to 100 by 10 minits. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
That's what I mean.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's. But so I'm doing right now rounds because I'm doing 5 minute rounds because that's like I love that 5 minute round thing.
You're pretending you're in the main event of a UFC show.
Of UFC, yeah, not doing fighting but burpees. And I don't know. I feel like if you train like that, because I feel like if you could do 5 minute rounds of burpees, and like you're in fucking phenomenal shape. You're going to be in better shape than almost all other people, or the majority of people. But so I did 5 minutes, 4 minutes, 3 minutes, 2 minutes on the burpees, and whenever I got to 144, which isn't great for that. It's not horrible, but like my first round, I'm really, really, really strong, and then I have to pace myself as I'm going. I go straight through still, but I try to focus on my breathing. But I would like to ultimately, my next quest on this is going to be doing my 20-minute time and trying to just go 20 minutes straight, no break, and just go all the way straight through, see whatever number I get on, and then try to improve that number over time.
Miserable.
I feel like that's, yeah, oh, dude, it's people sit in the gym And like this is after doing fucking 30 something sets, and they just look and they're like, I'm drenched with sweat pouring off me in this. It's like the stretching section over there where they have a good little set of carpet, and people are just over there just doing their abs or stretching, and I'm doing burpees like an asshole, just fucking miserable, just trying to breathe. And but yeah, it's been a good week, man, and I'm feeling good. My back and shoulder are doing a lot. Every week I told you they get better and better, and I'm happy on that end. I gotta be sure I'm in the ring with. I like wrestling the lighter guys right now, just because my shoulder's still not. It's going to take some time for this to get where I want it to get, but
because you also too, the requirements that if people see you, they're going to expect full, put the guy up, do the old stomp, right? Like, is that part of the reason?
Anything, but like especially the big appeal when you wrestle. So again, another thing is, and then like when I wrestled the lighter guys, we could do a lot more stuff where I don't have to wreck my back as bad or my shoulder as bad. Whereas if I'm wrestling a guy that's 280, 290, 300 plus, 400, whatever, like anything I do, that guy can only help so much.
Sure.
It's stressing my shoulder more than anything. So it's just until I'm where I want to be health wise. It's I'm good enough to come back, but I need to be a little better. So that's where Big Mike. Well, me and him are going to have a little sit down as soon as I get there, and I'll just explain it to him.
All right,
where he fully understands.
We'll see how that goes.
Also, this week I am officially done. I have unblocked everybody on Twitter.
What's the official count? Is that 5,000 or no?
It was. I don't know what it was. 5,000 and change, and I have released everybody out of purgatory or out of. I've released everybody. I've turned the key and opened the gates of hell and just let them all back in. But I don't care because I'll never see them.
I did click on your app mentions. I saw people were very mad. Some were very mad that they were unblocked and they were begging to be blocked again. So you've annoyed them.
That's what a win. That is. I wish there was a way to do more than unblock them.
Invite them over to dinner and.
Yeah, hang out with them. Man, really, really put it to them. That's I heard actually. I can't remember the rapper that did it. I want to say like it wasn't Jay-Z, but it was someone of like that, and at that level, I guess. And there was something negative that happened with a fan and they were shit talking them. This rapper contacted them and like flew them out, and the person took it and like hung out with them for a couple days. And the person, of course, greatest time of their life. And it was like, it's the greatest story. It just shows, like, people just want to be angry. And then they, like, meet that person. And then the guys, like, ended up loving them.
So would you be open to maybe just putting out an open invite? I'm not saying at your house, but maybe somewhere to rent out a big guy barbecue where you just invite all the released Twitter people
at a park down the road. That would actually be, what would be really, really good? I would completely do it. Is that whole idea we had for whatever WWE Network shows, the one versus all?
Yeah.
I would go in the room with a room full of people that hate my guts or the idea of me, and just have back and forth questions. So let's just talk it out. And then no security, nothing, because I want it. If it's going to go down, it's going to go down.
This is we could tour with this. We can go from city to city with this. Do we charge?
This is what I was thinking. Oh, of course.
You got to charge for tickets. Okay.
Yeah, we're not going to get to fucking be in the room with me. What are you going to? You think going to let them in there for free? If they really hate me, they'll pay to say what they want to say, and then I could break it down for them. And then we could watch them with the other people. It's all recorded, and we sell the DVDs also.
Okay.
Or Blu-ray, whatever we're on now. It's are DVDs even a thing? I'm so caught up in just I've not moved on. But yeah, can we tour with that? You said you think that's
I've been trying to think of a way to take this show on the road. So
take their money
and to live very well. Yeah. But that could be you get 100 people of 100 100-person venue, 200-person venue, and they just sit down with their angriness, and they just, I don't want to say insult you, but they just
whatever, Pat, whatever they want.
Whatever they
They're
want.
Paying customers. Let's have at it. Come in the room, show your face, and let's just talk it out. One versus all. I wouldn't back down from that challenge. I would love. We'll have the camera crew in there, and we'll just hash out our differences. And I anticipate every city we go to at the end of the night, like a Tony Robbins, event. The crowd will be filled with energy, screaming, "Feed me more!" by the end of it.
So they're going to go in there hating you, but they're going to leave there pumping their fists and
yeah, we're gonna change lives one room at a time, Pat. That's what we're gonna do.
So we should start the Ryback versus all tour. You think?
Yeah, I like one versus all.
One versus all.
Or is that taken? That might be trademarked. Actually,
I feel like I've seen that before. I feel like that's someone's.
Is that Roman's thing? Well, he's had like 100 of them since he debuted.
I know.
They've had a lot. So Ryback versus all. Let's which is really like only whatever might be anywhere from 25 to 100 in every city, which isn't that much, but it'll be good. I would be more than willing to have it. I think that would make for some entertaining footage.
Yeah, I'd like to be a part of that.
I fucking hate you. Well, why do you hate me, sir? Because you lost against CM Punk. That's his reason for hating me. Or you hurt CM Punk.
I would love to be in the crowd for that too. Just be one of the guys.
I probably should have somebody in there just for in case they plan out a big attack with all 100 of them, which I still don't necessarily feel threatened. But it's
here's a real question. Okay, say we do this. We get 100 people. We'll go even 150.
You're reaching. I don't think there's going to be that many. Pat.
You don't think so? Okay, so say we get 100. Let's go with 100.
You got to think how many of them are going to be willing to show their face, and it's not as many as you think.
Probably not. So, but there'd be also those going just to hang out and have a decent time.
Oh, we would have it set up where we'd give them like WWE does the VIP meet and greets beforehand. We would have we'd pull a little Kenny Bolin and do fake signed Finn Balor posters for him, along with like Finn Balor shirts and maybe like some DX armbands and little glow sticks or some shit. We'd have little packages for them just so that entice them to fucking like cheese on a rat trap just to fucking get them in the room.
But it's all fake merchandise.
Yeah, all fake. All that I get made in China and then we profit from it.
Oh my God. My question was this: how many? Say a riot ensues, you get them really revved up. How many out of these 100, say they're all angry, do you think you could take out before you start getting, do you think
I think we can get through all of them, Pat. I don't really think they're going to, one of their super kicks they try to throw might hit me in the nuts. But other than that, I don't see, I don't know. I don't feel really threatened too much.
Okay.
With the people that are going to come to this, I'm not too worried. I would like one security guard in there though, just to kind of, and no gun, maybe mace, just to fucking get a few of them back. But
Atlas Security, I use them every show. The old ECW security guards.
Oh really?
Yeah, they're at all my events. The guy with the big Ronnie with the curly hair that you've seen him on every ECW thing.
What do they charge to protect your show?
They're reasonably priced. They're very affordable and very decent.
Okay. So I thought what's the wrestlers that you use, the security guys, they're the wrestler.
Job Security,
big fans of theirs. Every time I see them, I just chuckle to myself with enjoyment. I truly enjoy that you have built characters unique to wrestling on your show. It's refreshing because it's different than you have your own characters, which I like.
Thank you. Yeah, so I thought 4 guys that that are really inexperienced. What can you do with them? They want to be on shows. They're working hard. They probably can't do longer matches. So why don't we put them in a gimmick like a persona and some like a security crew. And then actually Shining Wizards Eddie came up with the term job security. So
which the best thing, they always get their asses kicked, right?
Every time they just get
which
shit
is
kicked
real
out.
job security. It's like Paul the mall cop, like, but just guys. And he's, even though he pulls off some miraculous feats in the movie, that's what a gimmick, man. I'm impressed by it.
I appreciate that. I don't know if I thought of it. I did think of it. I'll take credit for it. All right, Eddie did too. Eddie thought of it.
Shining Wizard Eddie is a good man, and he does a great job on this show. So I got some good news for Feed Me More Nutrition. The Fat Burner, the label, they just sent me the artwork for all that, and they got to do a couple little changes that I had, and the product is ready to go. So they just got to get it labeled. Once these labels get approved, and I'll have it shipped here, and it'll be here within a matter of a couple days once they get all the shipping done. So we're right around the corner for the Shell Shock Extreme Fat Burner. And I've been advertising now with the Las Vegas athletic clubs, in which I get to go do free demonstrations. And our good friend Allie Parker, you know her, you've met her.
Sure.
She worked for me yesterday. Charges a hell of a fee, though. Got to get it down a little bit. No, I'm kidding.
She was there when I took that gummy bear, and I remembered every bad moment of my entire life, sitting there on the couch.
We'll talk about that in a second, actually. I've learned something about marijuana that I didn't know about it. I'm not a regular as far as that goes. But it is legal in Nevada now, so I'm like, try to learn a little bit about it.
You're a dabbler, a drifter.
Yeah, just every once in a blue moon, but we'll talk about that. But we had a great turnout. We had to work 8 to 12 in the morning, and I'm out there in the battlefield showing my face, and when I go to the gym, I'm not the most approachable guy. I have my headphones on. I'm in there. I'm working out. I'm not in there to be a chatty Cathy or anything like that. So that morning crew is a lot more of I feel like it's more adults and responsible people going to the gym early in the morning.
Sure.
Not necessarily that's not just everyone has different work schedules, but I feel like you'll get like that older crowd in there too that are retired. They're going. Yeah. So it was a lot of those people, and I was glad that I went in and worked it with her, because I'm able to talk to them about the supplements, and it got the feedback we got on the Wake Up Unlimited Energy and the ISO Hungry. They loved it.
So what do you do? So basically you went to I've been to that gym. It's obviously monstrous. Now, do you have like a whole booth set up? Are you behind the desk? Are you in full gimmick? Are you just dressed normally? Like what goes into this?
I show up in gear. We have I make sure they hit my theme music the moment I walk through the doors.
This is like I'm thinking Warrior University style. You come in maybe with the hat on, but your full gear and music playing.
Screaming, "Feed me more," as the senior citizens are looking at me in shock and terror. Mm-hmm. No, we get there, and she met me there, and I'm scheduled. They have a lot of people. They have a booth there, essentially, where that you could do demonstrations, do demos, we call it, and where people can sample your products and try your products. And I got the big blue. You saw the one I have upstairs, the blue Ryback cutout.
Yeah.
I got a bunch of those. I had a bunch of those made. So I went and picked up one of those, picked up all my supplies and everything I was going to need. And you go there, you get all set up, and I got like the drink spigots, They hold the pre-workouts, and they're on ice, and where people can pour their own pre-workout. And you just got to get there, set everything up, set all the proteins, put the proteins in the different shaker bottles, put them on ice, and then put all the products out. And then I gave away a bunch of free water bottles, shaker bottles, and workout towels. Hundreds of dollars, probably over $500 worth of stuff. But I'm one gym at a time taking over. Pat, go. I like seeing those yellow workout towels and yellow water jugs now when I go to the gym, and that lets me know that people, you know what I mean? It's brand awareness, and but people. And then I'm at a couple stores here in Vegas, so a lot of people. Where can we get your products? Amazon, feedmemore.com, or at this nutrition store, 5 minutes down the road, in which people started going there, and the store already called me, and it's been good. So
What do you wear to this? I mean, are you wearing the yellow muscle
the Feed Me
shirt?
More, the Feed Me More Nutrition workout pants, and then I got my Feed Me More Nutrition shirt, and I wear the yellow, blue, and red Nikes that I had custom made to match the colors of the brand, and Allie was in her Feed Me More Nutrition shirt I had for her, and just representing the brand and just letting people know I'm out there. And a lot of people, it's surprising how many older people watch wrestling.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and where we never wanted to bother you in here, and when I'm there, they're there. When you do these demos, you're there to talk to people. So it's 4 hours. It was 4 hours straight of being a chatty Cathy and explaining the supplements. I told you I know the ingredients from the top. Just going over everything back and forth with them. Well, what's in this? Why is this good for me, or why is this bad for me? And just explaining them everything and whatnot. So it's we're doing really good numbers right now. I'm really excited. As soon as this fat burner comes out, I'm going to start the next one and get that one done much quicker.
What's that?
I haven't so I have my sleep aid, an all-natural sleep aid, or I'm deciding if I want to do my branched chain amino acid electrolyte pump mix, which could be used it's a branched chain amino acid, but it could be used during, they call it like a intro workout.
Okay.
In the middle of your work. Like you take your pre-workout before you go to the gym, and then you sip on this while you're at the gym. There's a lot of people that do this, and it keeps you in that anabolic state with the branched chain amino acids. And the good thing is there's not a lot of them out there with stevia right now. There's hardly any. There might be only a couple.
The one I take one now, and it kind of, honestly, I don't really like it. It sucks. Yeah.
I don't. Yeah. I've had 2 different ones, and I kid you not, the taste is fucking horrible.
I don't think many people know a lot of people pick up fitness tips here. I think you may want to explain what BCAs are, because I think I didn't really start using them until probably about a year and a half.
Yeah. I've been off and on with them for a long time, and the reason why I have the one here I got at the health food store. It has stevia. It tastes so bad that it just makes me. I don't want to take it ever. And it's just. I think we'll what we'll do next week. We'll have we'll talk about branched chain amino acids next week, and I'll break it down for people and explain why those are good for you to have. And just usually they're calorie free and. Or they're very low calories. It's just a way to keep you in a positive nitrogen balance throughout the day without always having to consume food. So a lot of people like to take them before they go do empty stomach cardio and stuff, or sip on them while they do that. But also I'm going to put the pump stuff in there, some citrulline and arginines, and have the electrolytes, which none of them have the electrolytes in the right amount.
None of them do.
Which is for athletes, is what football players, wrestlers, this is stuff that this is who I'm marketing towards, is guys like that and athletes, because this is what I put in my body that I need for cramps, rather than taking 3 different things. So that's probably going to be the next one, because the sleep aid is as excited as I am for the name and how good it is. I need to get that the branched chain amino acid out there. But speaking of which, the new Feed Me More Nutrition workout shorts and pants are in. And which I've sent to you, actually.
You did send to me, and I really am a fan. I like the shorts. I love the tank top. I was wearing it before. Funny story, you gave one for Lauren, who got her a size small, and I was like, hey, try it on, see how it fits. And she came out, and it fit her okay, but her nipples were out. So I was like, you might have to put a sports bra on. So,
well, they're for men. I told you, I sent her one to wear a sports bra under it, 100%. Like, She can't go to the.
I thought it looked great without, but apparently she has to. She enjoyed it though. But yeah, thank you for the free merch.
No, but yeah, thank you. You're very welcome. And those are now available on feedmemore.com, and they are loose fit as far as in the legs. They are meant for not bodybuilders necessarily, but they're kind of sized where they're accordingly sized to the waist. But I like the baggy fit, the loose fit. So that is the style that we went with in the legs for those. So if you have big legs, you'll love them. It's they came out really well. I'm really happy with those. So those are available also now. But that's about it for me this week. I'm trying to think what else. I gave the dogs a bath in the last 2 days. Sophie ran away from me. She hates getting in the bathtub. That's always, I have to like hold her in there and baby her and kiss her the entire time as I'm like dumping water on her and rubbing in her shampoo and conditioner. I usually used to take her and Sunny to the groomers. But now with the little guy, I don't want to take him in there yet because he's a baby still, kind of. He is a baby, so I just try to. I've been washing him in the tub. He doesn't mind the baths at all. Sophie though always kind of she likes to go to the groomers more than having it done here, for whatever reason. But she was smelling, so I had to get her a bath this week.
So you're a local businessman working from gym to gym, washing your dogs. Hell of a week.
Oh, I do it all. Hell of a life I got going on here. Just you know what? I get one question. I think we should address it.
Okay.
A lot of people, I think, seem to think something bad happened to Sonny. I noticed. I'll get some emails. They're like, "Did he pass away?" He's never been my dog. He was always my ex-girlfriend's dog, whom was always kind enough to let me watch him, and we were kind of off and on at different periods. But she's keeping him more full-term time right now, I should say, and where she would let me watch him more before. So that's why I got little guy. So Sophie was really sad. And Sonny is more than all right. I saw him. I was able to see him via FaceTime last week, and he was all right.
Did that hurt?
Yeah, it sucks, especially when the other call's drunk. And yeah, not a good thing. But it was good to see him. But I just have to do what's best for me and my babies. And
I think the little guy filled a void. We haven't talked about this, but I've noticed since you got him, you filled a big void. I think it's put you in a positive state of mind.
Well, you got to understand, I'm a dog person. I don't know if I've ever said this or not. One of my big goals that I have it on one of my boards upstairs, is in my lifetime, one of my lifetime goals that I have upstairs is to create a dog facility, the largest dog facility here in Nevada, where animals and dogs can live their entire lives without and be happy if they're never adopted. Because so many animals are put down. Mm-hmm. That's always been. I love dogs more than anything in the world. I really, really do. So that just so people that can get an understanding, and they see me with my dogs, and like I love dogs. That's one of my. It's going to take a shit ton of money, and it's going to take a shit ton of effort, and it's going to be donations. It's going to be the whole thing to keep this thing going. But it's one of my really, I dream big. That's one of my big things, because so many animals are put to sleep, or they live in animal shelters and they're abused, or they're not. I want to create a facility that's just unheard of for dogs, because I think they're the greatest creatures known to man. It killed me to see Sophie all the time by her. Like, she gets sad. Mm-hmm. So it's hard for me to leave her home alone and go out and do all this stuff and leave her home alone. I knew with Sonny gone, I was like, I have to go get another dog, and because that made me feel bad. And then if I'm having to stay around and not getting out as much as I want to get out, it wears on me. And so having the little guy around has completely changed everything. But
you bought little guy like from he's a purebred, right? Or no?
Purebred, yeah.
But then your other dogs, you've rescued dogs before too, right? Like the pit bulls?
Yeah. Yep.
So you mix it up. So some people do one or the other. Like, I don't know. Some people like, oh, you have to rescue. Some people like,
There's no right or wrong.
There is
whatever. Giving a pet a home is a good thing no matter what. The pet is alive. It doesn't matter where the pet came from. You are giving a pet a home. It's good. There's good and bad with each one and whatnot. I don't though. Like, some people are so obsessed with breeds, and like I'm not getting a dog to like brag to my friends like, yeah, my dog's a purebred. Mm-hmm. I paid $3,600 for my little boy. He's better than your dog. Fuck that.
Your dog's a piece of shit.
Yeah, no, fuck you if that's what you get. Like, they're not. Like, you get them to love them and to give them a home and to create a relationship with them. It doesn't matter where they came from. So
is the little guy spaded or neutered or no?
He's not neutered yet. His pecker's still growing. So it's witnessing it. Proud father over here is
looking at your dog's dick.
Yeah, just
nothing wrong with that.
Nothing wrong with that at all. That doesn't sound weird. No, but he was obviously only a couple months old when I got him. he's about 3.5, 3 months and 2 weeks, or right around there. And I've noticed he's starting to get erections now.
Oh boy!
And he's been trying to hump Sophie. It's so they said you got to wait 6 months to get him neutered.
Oh, is that what it is? Okay.
Yeah. So I'll wait till they say 4 to 6. They say probably closer to 6, but he's I've witnessed the transformation in him, and I've noticed he's getting a little more aggressive with her as far as trying to hop on her.
Yeah, sure. And, trying to put on the old Nelson. Yeah.
Yeah. But dude, I love having him around. It's a great feeling. So he's made all the difference.
I almost ended my life this week. I took up a new hobby. I'm now a golfer. I don't know if I told you about this.
You did tell me about this. It's very. I never pictured you as the golfing type.
I used to be really ignorant to. I used to think, it's a dumb sport. It's something just old people play or rich white people play, or like it has that reputation. But seeing I guess when you get married, but when you start dating someone and realizing that their family's into certain things, and like, this is kind of cool, and they've gotten me into things I never, the boating stuff, and her dad's a big golfer. And once a year, they have this big tournament that's actually named after my wife's grandfather in this city in Long Island. So I felt like a total spaz last year because I don't know how to play golf, so I didn't play in the tournament. So I felt like obligated as this new member of the family. I need to learn the game of golf because when I go out there to where her place is, they look at me like there's the wrestler dude, there's an athlete.
Yeah.
So if I'm not playing golf, I look like a loser. I got to learn this, and I want to. Like, why not? I want. So I signed up for a lesson. I took a golf lesson with a pro, and it taught me for like a half hour. And I played with I played 9 holes with another golfer or friend of mine, and things went really well. So I was like, okay, this isn't that bad. It's very frustrating, very difficult. I get to the tournament the next day, the golf outing.
You're golfing against other people, correct?
I'm golfing. Well, it's everyone's there for fun, but everybody's pretty good. It's not like a tournament competitive, but it's called it was called like the Shea Invitational. So basically, like, so it like. But the teams here's the rules.
There's a lot of people around, though, is what I'm saying. The first time, it's just you and your buddy. There's not a lot of people around, right?
Yeah, there's 100 people in the tournament, with teams of 4.
So more eyes are on you as you're golfing now. The second day, though.
Not only that, I'm playing with her. Her dad is on my team, and her two uncles. So I've only played golf for the last day, so I'm like, all right, this won't be that bad. I was the fucking. I mean, I get it. I'm not going to be good, but I thought that maybe, dude, it was like last kid in dodgeball. It was just like I was so embarrassed. I couldn't hit so many times I couldn't hit the ball. I would hit like it was. I never felt more pathetic in my entire life. It was so bad.
You know what I was going to say with all those eyes on you too, and you're in really good shape. That in your head, people are watching you, they see the muscles, you think that you as an athlete should be able to perform at a certain level, and it puts more pressure on you, and you tense up just a little more, and you're not as good as you were the other day, you have more eyes on you. I guarantee you that played a part. And then I could just see the family members, stupid steroids.
It was I felt that way too. Well, they felt bad because they knew, they're like, okay, he's only golfed twice, but every now and then someone would walk over and they would see me trying to hit this fucking thing off a tee and missing, or I'd hit it and it would literally go, dude, there was times where I hit the ball and it would go like 5 feet. And
no, golf's no easy task, man.
Dude.
I golfed as a kid quite a bit. I took lessons. Yeah, me and my sister at a municipal golf course in Las Vegas, Nevada. It's now in a very bad area, but I as far as it's not easy. It's really, I could just see, I picture the family members just like, let's see him wrestle his way out of this one, elbowing each other. Just
no,
stupid wrestler.
I think they felt bad for me because towards the end, like, And because they're so fucking good. They would, and they're all over 60 too, and they're killing it.
Are they fairly successful rich white people?
You could say that, yeah.
So just checking.
They all got their stuff together, and so they're killing it. And they would get frustrated if they missed by a little bit, or if Meanwhile, when I hit it and it goes 3 feet, they'd be like, "Oh, good shot!" They were trying to encourage me.
Oh yeah, rubbing your head. Good boy.
Like, oh, that wasn't that bad. And I'm like, no, I want to take the golf cart and drive into that fucking river right now. So. It wasn't good.
I would pay to see that.
I'm going to take lessons. This is going to be my new hobby, because I really, and you know what I liked about it? I never thought about this. So golf, a lot of people think is lazy, or it doesn't require that much athleticism. So if you walk holding your clubs around 18 holes, you're walking 8 miles.
Yeah.
And I'm like, this could be, it doesn't take the place of cardio, but I can justify waking up at 5 a.m, doing this for 5 hours, go work out later. Because I was so mortified at how bad I played. I went right to the gym and probably had the best workout of my life because I was so upset with myself. So that was my weekend.
It's not easy. Yeah. Man, it's not easy doing other things. That's why I think people don't understand that this whole Conor McGregor Floyd Mayweather fight, which the result will have happened by the time that this podcast comes out, but it's one thing to be good at one thing. To be good at multiple things is not easy.
No, not at all. I just want to be passable. But with that being said, I think we've been being chatty Cathys ourselves. I think it's time to maybe plug some things.
It is. It's that time, I feel like. And I don't know if I have a song off the top of my head. I'm desperately trying to think right now. And I don't know. I'm a little torn. Have I done the Nexus We Are One theme? I feel like I have.
You have not. We haven't really done many wrestling songs. So if that's your go-to, that's your go-to.
That's my go-to this week, because I was talking to our good buddy Stu Bennett and PJ Black this week, and in which Stu had mentioned to me he wishes all his friends had a podcast so that he could keep up with their lives, because he's a regular listener every week and keeps up with everything. And that meant a lot. He's told me before, but it always catches me off guard. He listens every week pretty much, and because he's a smart, intelligent guy. So I'm glad that I can entertain him. And yeah, it's just simply for the entertainment. That's it. It's not for anything else. But yeah, with that said, let's go ahead and Eddie get that revved up. Relive those glory days, the 4 touchdowns in one game in high school. All right, guys, for all fan mail for the big guy Ryback, please send to P.O. Box 752740, Las Vegas, Nevada, 89136. Feed Me More Nutrition, available on Amazon and feedmemore.com, allpumpyouup.com, and in Las Vegas right now, Spartan Nutrition in North Las Vegas and Wise Chiropractic in South Las Vegas on South Rainbow. Wake Up, It's Feeding Time, the motivational book by the big guy Ryback. Available on Amazon in paperback, Kindle, and Audible form. The new workout shorts and pants, the Feed Me More Nutrition, are available on feedmemore.com. And make sure to check out the new Feed Me More goal boards on Amazon and the Feed Me More Nutrition tank top on feedmemore.com. Fuel Meals, my personal meal prep service. Save 10% with discount code The Big Guy. You guys can check out some of my Snapchats at Ryback247. You can see me. I always have those fuel meals making appearances on those. Holosync Meditation, the meditation program I've been using for many years. That link is up at feedmemore.com. And the official Feed Me More Nutrition Facebook is at Feed Me More Nutrition. Follow this podcast on Twitter at CWTBG. And that's it for me.
All right, September 8th, CreatorProWrestling.com on St. James, Long Island. Ryback will be there. Swoggle will be there. A whole bunch of stuff. Sonny will be there. CreatorProWrestling.com. Next day, WrestleProOnline.com. Rahway, New Jersey. AR Fox versus Ryback. Jesus, this sounds like I book you and no one else. Cole Cabana versus Bobby Lashley. Whole bunch of stuff going on there. Joey Janela versus Tommy Dreamer. Myself versus Dan Moff in the old steel cage. WrestleProOnline.com. And we'll be back in Edison, New Jersey, September 23rd. And I believe October 13th and 14th will be in Brooklyn and Rahway for WrestlePro, and that's really all I have. But I'm going to give. I've been promoting for a while. I guess we can cut the music here. I'm actually gonna. I have my shows booked up basically till December. If they don't go very well, I think I'm gonna pull back on promoting shows for a long time. Given a lot of thought. Yeah, because it's just not this. When I used to run years ago, I feel like this area is becoming more and more. I don't know what the word is.
Saturated with wrestling.
Yeah, and so. And there's bad timing issues. There's things with certain things with weather where you can't run in certain months. But overall, it's become, I'm not getting as much enjoyment as I was out of it. Like, I truly take pride in it, but I find that it just feels different than it was. I think I may do like 4 big shows a year as opposed to running 14 shows in 4 months, if that makes sense. I may go down that path.
I think that's a great idea. I think it would be more rewarding to run bigger shows and have bigger payoffs for it, and you could focus on those, and you could do the other things. You'll have more time to do the other things, and I think that is a very solid idea. Rather than just run good shows, run great shows, and you do run great shows, but you know what I mean, like bigger venues, more people, and I don't. I think that's a bad idea one bit.
Yeah, I'm wondering. I don't know. I wanted to run as much as I could. There's a promotion that ran. Actually, there's a side story here. Thank you for reminding me. I wanted to run every week.
You're welcome.
And now at this point, it's so much goes into running an independent wrestling show where I still love doing it. I really do. But like, the little nuances are driving me nuts. Like today, I had to reapply for my New York promoter's license. I have to reapply for the bond to get my promoter's license. I have to send a notification form in. I got to book the doctor. I have to make sure talent's okay. Like, there's so much shit. There's so much to do all the fucking time, and like it's my own money. That's the thing. Like if it wasn't, man, that's fucking easy. That's a game changer right there. But when you're budgeting it out and you can't take the risks you want to take, or you're not willing to, like, I've risked everything. I wouldn't have anything if I didn't risk it. But it's a different climate right now. It's not. Everyone says that there's not everybody, but we should talk about this. That there's a boom period in wrestling. Like I don't think so. I think there's a buzzworthy period right now. I don't think there's.
I just think that with the social media, more people are able to be seen than ever before, and that's it. They're not making more money or anything like that. Wrestlers are that make the least amount of money out of any profession, especially on the independent. As far as on a lot of them, it's not a cool thing.
No.
Compared to other things, so it's like minor leagues and like hockey, and you look at these guys are making hundreds of thousands of dollars at the very bottom level. It's just really, it's unlike anything else. And again, it depends on how the show draws, but and all that. I just think there's more ways for people to be seen, and so people are getting feedback directly because everybody's hooked and addicted to social media, and they think they get a few people saying you're awesome, and then they buy. You know what I mean? It's just
that's what I think. I think we're in a. We're not in a boom period. I made this up myself. Like we're in like a buzz period where, sure, independent wrestling is quote popular. Stuff is here, but as far as the money,
it's not popular to regular people.
It's not, and there's no. But what I'm hoping happens, because I'll always have this unfucking dying hope that wrestling will figure itself out one day, which it seemingly never does because we have too many people.
It never has. I don't know. Look throughout the history of wrestling.
I disagree. I disagree. Here's why. Because look at the time period that WCW had before it Turner kind of opened up the gates of hell and all the money that was put into it, where at least we had a successful period where guys were making a shitload of money for a little bit. You know what I mean?
And doing the least amount of wrestling possible.
Yeah. And could go, fuck this place, I'll go here.
What got casual viewers watching wrestling more than any other period? The one period that they quit wrestling at and just fucking. You think I'm not making that up?
The top guys, at least, yeah.
Yeah. The guys that were on almost every other segment, and they were too sweeting each other and they weren't doing a gazillion moves in the ring and making one bump fucking, taking 8 bumps and making it mean one bump. They weren't doing that. They were just going out there wearing shorts and fanny packs and loose-fitting tank tops and fucking with the storylines and talking cool and or what we perceived as cool and telling the authority people to fuck off. And even Austin in his he was stunning. It wasn't out there when he was injured. When he got really, he was out there just doing stunners and doing more promo and talking type things and more people were appealed to that than watching the fake fighting.
But the root of that, I think, was the fact that there was somebody willing to go, well, we want to do a wrestling company. Okay, we'll pay these guys what they want to get paid. We'll pay them absurdly and let them say not say whatever the fuck they want. But because there was more options, the power was with the boys. It wasn't with the company. And we don't have that dynamic now. That dynamic is completely gone. But it would be refreshing if, real money or some sort of company or some sort of person, because I know Anthem does have that, but they're not opening up that wallet, which I can't blame them for doing so. But it would be awesome if at some point someone came along and was just like, hey, I want to really get something going with serious money and capital towards a wrestling thing. And I've been wishing long enough that it ain't happening. It's just, I don't know, but it could. I think it could. I still think it could, but it's a hard nut to crack.
No, I get what you're saying. So I think running 4 shows a year would be, for you have other things going on and where you could focus your energies on those and take a little stress off yourself. And, it's not a bad idea at all. And you're still promoting shows. So
I just think that one washes the other, where I have a lot of, students and they need things to look forward to. And they know that some of them have good independent promotions they work for, but a lot of them don't. So, a lot of them growing they live for this. So I feel like I'm not working as hard enough unless I'm providing all these different towns. So,
yeah.
And for the most part, these little towns are successful, but drawing 200 people when you're footing the entire bill, it's the risk isn't fucking worth the reward.
For
sometimes.
What you always make out, but it's stressful, the whole process, and I think I get what you're saying, and I feel like the podcast and the people that are now aware of you, am I adding to the stress now with my fans, Pat?
Your fans or
your
haters?
My haters. Sorry, I did not mean my fans. Sorry.
No, I think it's given me a different perception where it's just like you need because of your stuff, you've given a platform for me to talk about my bullshit. But even in terms, let's use this as a big example. WrestleMania every year. We did WrestleCon this year. I had a show down there. I would think realistically, I don't know if I'm going to run an event down there this year. I may not even have the opportunity to run an event because they're actually switching the schedule where, okay, everyone knows WrestleMania is the Sunday, but independent wrestling promotions run around, the popular ones. So I ran Thursday night show. Other shows ran Friday, like Ring of Honor was on Saturday. A lot of, Evolve had stuff. Everyone had High Spots had stuff. I don't want to run a show this year. Like, it was so much work on my ends, but I would love to go down there and do a podcast, do a live podcast or wrestle. Like, I don't know if I want to be the promoter anymore. I don't know if I'm past that phase yet, man. It's just something that's in the back of my head going, sometimes I'm looking around like, why the fuck am I doing this? Like I'm working myself into a tizzy, even though I really like doing it. I hate it too.
That's you always evolve as a person and move on to bigger and better things. And it's the same thing with wrestling, and I love wrestling and I'll always love it. But through the different books that I've learned from and audiobooks and all that, I eventually, to me, I think the greatest freedom in the world is working for yourself. And as much as I love wrestling, I'm still working for other people doing that. Where I like being in control and having and waking up when I want to wake up and doing what I want to do and having control over my destiny and my future and whatnot. And I think you're kind of you're evolving, and you realize this was good for this period, and you still might want to do it, but just not on as much of a regular basis because there's other things that you enjoy more, and that's totally cool. That's what life is about. You're not just meant to just do the same thing over and over and over again. Like we are allowed to love many different things. We're allowed to love as much stuff as we want and do whatever we want. So I know we both have a dream of being fat, lazy pieces of shit just doing this podcast.
Yeah.
And,
bald.
Just
big beard.
I'm bald by choice. Just I don't know if I've told you that. But,
I haven't heard that. I never heard that.
Just drunk, doing drugs, talking really, like legit negative, just ripping on everything and anyone. What people like think they want to think that I do now, but like really doing that and just living life.
Well, let's move on from that. Should we talk a little bit of wrestling news? What do you think?
I think we should take our first break, and then because we are over an hour and 10 minutes in, and we have not taken a break, and we have some sponsors to get in. So
yes,
we will be right back after this. If you're anything like us, you like to enjoy a nice cold soda every now and then, but you hate the empty calories and the artificial sweeteners that come with it. With Zevia, you don't have to pick your poison. You won't feel awful worrying about the potentially harmful side effects because with Zevia, there are none. Zevia uses the all-natural sweetener stevia and doesn't have any caramel coloring either. The result is a delicious and safer soda with none of the nasty stuff. Zevia has 14 different flavors of soda, 4 flavors of sparkling water, and 4 flavors of awesome energy drinks. This is the naturally sweetened pop you and your family will crave. And Zevia is giving you the opportunity to try their products for yourself for free. That's right, for free. If you live in the US or Canada, just go to Zevia.com/podcast and sign up. And they'll mail you a coupon for a free 6-pack. What are you waiting for? Head to Zevia.com/podcast and get your hands on some ASAP. The following advertisement has been paid for by the big guy Ryback. Are you hungry? You know I'm so hungry, big guy. Hey, Mark, what brings you here? I'm just here to hang out with my all-time favorite superstar of all time. What brings you here? Well, I'm doing a paid advertisement for Feed Me More Nutrition, available at feedmemore.com. Big guy, that is music to my ears. Did you tell the people about your Ice So Hungry grass-fed whey protein isolate, the best tasting protein on the market? Wake Up Unlimited Energy, the strongest pre-workout on the market, and the big guy, all-natural testosterone booster, my personal fave. Big guy, you're on to something with this Feed Me More Nutrition. It is some top quality stuff. Well, thank you, Mark, it is. Feed Me More Nutrition, premium, quality, the highest quality supplements on the market today. Available now at feedmemore.com. But wait, there's more. Just for being a listener of Conversation with the Big Guy, you can now save 10%. That's right, save 10% at feedmemore.com on all Feed Me More merchandise and apparel and Feed Me More Nutrition with discount code PODCAST10. 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 Thank you, guys. And we're back. All right. So what do we got now for, we got any news this week, Pat?
Yeah, let's talk about some wrestling. I don't know if we want to go in a time order, but, you know, SummerSlam passed. I don't know if you caught the big show. I don't know if you watched the old pay-per-view.
I did. I watched a lot of it, and I always enjoy everything they put out there because I know a lot of the guys. So, only I wasn't happy with Rusev losing in short, even though I understand it from a show standpoint of having the matches kind of different. So not every match is a 20 or 25-minute match and whatnot. I just don't think he's the guy you need to be beating in that short period of time. Especially when just months ago, him and Jinder were together, and he was the strong link of the team. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? It's such a disconnect, and I don't. When they use guys well for so long, and then just try to like, I don't like it. And he's so talented, and I'm sure he's in that rut where I guarantee you he's putting in time on live events and being a workhorse, and then gets to TV or the pay-per-view, and then gets that kind of shit. It sucks. It's never a good thing. So,
and obviously it's probably for time. That's the one thing that got me with this show. I thought everything was great. Even like the like the New Day match. I think New Day and Usos have been having probably the best matches on television.
They're killing it. They're beyond talented, and that's what I always say when people. Even though I had my situation and was supposed to be on the show, then moved to the whatever you call it, the pre-show or whatever. And then people, I remember when I left, that was like he was only doing pre-shows when he left. And they will put the majority, they won't put anyone on him, but they'll put outside of your top, like guys in that top circle.
Yeah.
Anybody is could be put on the pre-show, no matter, like there's nobody's safe, essentially, and whatnot. Because even in their minds, they don't look at it as a bad thing. I think from like Vince's standpoint and whatnot. But like the Usos and New Day are major league talents. They are superstars, and they could perform anywhere on the card. So I'm friends with all those guys, and I think they're awesome. All of them, they're great human beings, and they kill it as always. So
the only thing that I felt from like the whole show was it was just too long, man. Like you can't sit like for Mania you can get away with that long show, but I don't think, unless they build up SummerSlam a bit more, which I think they did a decent job this year. But it was like 13 matches all in all, including the pre-show. It was a lot of fucking wrestling, man.
And there's only so much. You can only watch two elephants fucking so many times, Pat, as Dr. Tom Pritchard said. Yeah.
And over again.
Some people like watching elephants fucking, I guess. I don't know. Just over and over again. But there's only so much you can do. I think with WrestleMania, too, it's because it's such a spectacle as far as the set and the stage. And it's a production on a whole other level. And so
the people going there are saving up like there are a lot of international people coming over here where Barclays is, not a lot of, it's a mix of locals, but it's 14,000, I think, compared to 100.
It's like any other arena still, even though it's a nice arena and I like it and all that. And I performed there many times. It's still, it's like on TV. It looks like any other arena. You can't tell a difference from one arena to the other typically just watching on TV. But with WrestleMania, you can tell because it's outside and it's at the stadiums and whatnot. So I think that kind of it plays a part of it too. But I noticed the beach ball has been making an appearance.
That might have been the loudest reaction the entire night, which is unfortunate, but...
Yeah, because it's non-wrestling related. I've been saying that.
Cesaro's a hell of a catcher. That was fucking awesome.
I don't think wrestling fans understand. I was talking to this with our good buddy JD with a Iron Attitude who does my weight belts. And
our weight belts.
I should say, you're the one that started the whole damn thing. And you're the one that came up with the goddamn over-the-shoulder boulder holder finisher that fucked up my back, asshole. Now I just thought about that. Thank you.
Which is the reason you have to wear weight belts.
Yeah, to wrestle.
Get out of
now.
bed. Yep.
Yeah, I take my pre-workout just to start my day. Thanks, Cody Rhodes. I don't think fans, and then when they pan to it with the camera, I was like, oh, that's such a mistake because it's going to trigger other people to start bringing them in. And sure enough, the next night on Raw, way more people had beach balls. But
yeah.
I thought Cesaro, this is why I like Cesaro, because Cesaro doesn't give a fuck. And he doesn't. I always appreciated when I remember there were different times when I was waiting to go talk to Vince over shit going on, and Cesaro would be right behind me on something else, pissed off, and I always like, he's a man. That's why out of he's a man. And he will speak up for himself, which is probably why he'll never fully ever make it to there because he has a pair of balls on him. But I was so happy to see him do that because it's kind of offensive to the wrestlers when you're out there performing and you want the fans. It's a tough thing because you want the fans to have a good time. But I feel like fans that go to the shows, they're more caught up on trying to get on TV and just, I don't know, when you're in the ring killing yourself and people, they're just trying to pop themselves and chant whatever they want to chant. It's from a performer's standpoint, you're just like, yeah, come on.
I think their energy just goes in like different directions. They don't know where to, like it happened on Raw too. People are doing the wave and it's like, they're so caught up. I don't know if they're purposely doing it to be assholes, but they just kind of.
Yeah, I don't know either.
They kind of just roll with whatever is, oh, the cool kids are doing it? Okay. Like, instead of, hey, we paid this money, let's watch this fucking wrestling show and react to it. I don't know.
The show, TV attracts a different crowd than, like, live events and everything else. So, TV, I feel, is more that 18 to 34-year-old that wants to get on TV or be funny or get drunk and be cool and whatnot. But going back to SummerSlam though, I enjoyed the majority of it. I never watch anything and get angry like, oh my God, outside of like the Rusev thing. And even that was good though. Like it was great. It was different than any other match. I just don't think he was the right guy to be used in that position. But everybody, I thought Braun Strowman, they made him, I think if anybody came out of that SummerSlam with their stock raised, it was Braun Strowman.
Yeah.
And that's how you get guys over, by putting them over on someone like that. And because that sets up for them to do something with him and Brock now if they want to and whatnot. But he's been used very well since he's gone on his own. And I thought that just brought him to a new level, if that makes sense.
No, absolutely. He's genuinely over. I felt like they tried for a while, and it took a while to catch fire, but it is now. It's paying off. It took time. It got there.
It's just repetition over and over. And one of the key elements to truly getting over is you got to win big matches, or you gotta have great moments time and time again. And even though he didn't in particularly win that, he came out of that better than anybody in that match, I felt like. And I think too with Brock, he's such a physical specimen, and Braun being the physical specimen he is, it's good to see, especially in this day and age with Brock. And guys are a lot smaller now. There's how many guys when you see, well, that's not believable. That's not believable. There's a believable factor to this because Braun is so big that, and Braun I think has stepped up since he's been put in the singles role. So I thought he came out better than he went into it. And a lot of that was in part to how they let him perform against Brock. So,
all right. What about the opener? That was kind of a random choice, you think, or no? With Cena versus Corbin?
Oh, no, I told you that. No, like Cena and everything with him going on, and he's doing more and more outside projects and whatnot, and he always performs well in the ring. I'll never have a bad thing to say about the guy. And but I think he's really good, though, at if he knows he's not in a big-time matchup or if he's not on one of the focal points, he'll get that opener and go out there. And he's smart because then he can start the show off hot. And I thought everything went really well with that. Barrett, everything going on with him, like that's a weird situation. I don't know and fully understand that, but it happens to everyone.
Coming out of that, I'm trying to think what else outside of SummerSlam. I didn't see NXT the night before. I missed that. I know there's a couple injuries now. Asuka's hurt. Big Cass got hurt on Raw. His knee blew out on him. I think he tore
that.
What was it? It was ACL, I believe. I'm not sure.
I think is the ACL and maybe I don't know if there's any other damage, but I watched that and I just picture Vince in the back. God damn it! Enzo, he's trying to just fucking run Enzo into the ground, and Enzo comes out the winner. God damn it! Why couldn't you drop the fucking elbow? Like he just had to just fall on him, and the knee buckled, and he rolled out of the ring. But and those I'm sure, like, I can't imagine what that's like, blowing out your knee. But it probably sucks, I would imagine. But I would just, like, I saw it, I was like, just fall on him.
Yeah, that's kind of what I thought too. Not for nothing, like, just drop it, man. Just same thing. Just
because I feel like he's not gonna get heat for getting injured. He's gonna get heat for not getting the win on Enzo.
Yeah.
Like, God damn it! Just beat the little fucking runt. He's Enzo now is fucking just fucking beat your guy you've been pushing through the,
That'd be such a good storyline. Fuck.
This should be a sign from God to Vince, who also thinks he's God, but that fucking, no, you must push this man. Enzo, guys just start getting hurt every week. Enzo just keeps winning. And it just...
Well, they moved him, right? That happened last night. Did you hear about that?
What happened?
Enzo is now officially 205 Live. Big star there. So,
He's got it, but they use all those guys on the regular shows still, don't they?
Yeah,
or no,
but
not all of them, but some of them, right? Like Neville and
sparingly. I mean, they had like a 6-man tag. It really is. They're put in there as filler. I mean, I think all those guys are fucking awesome, but they're not they're just kind of. You'll come back from break and there'll be 2 guys, and I feel like a lot of it's they just fill the card where they need to kill time with 205. It's not a bad problem to have, but
no.
I don't think a lot of thought goes into the 205 Live crew.
I think too, it's hard when you're not involved if you're not involved in storylines and character development at that level. That just going out there and doing moves doesn't always.
Yeah,
people don't. I'm telling you, from a major outside casual viewer, even though it's on the network and the people watching are just wrestling fans, it's tough. It's none of the guys' faults.
No, not at all.
Not one bit. It's just the way that it is, and some will get moved, and when they get that Raw TV time is when it really helps them most.
Mm-hmm.
Which, by the way, what happened to what's the English guy? Fuck, I'm drawing a blank on this. I know his name, but I can't think of it right now. I haven't seen him in a while. He does the
Jack Gallagher?
Yeah. I always thought I enjoyed him.
I thought he stood out too. It's been a weird thing. Like, remember I had mentioned that show, that independent show that called Progress that ran here in a small building that overdrew.
Yep.
He was on that show. So like WWE has this, like, they have their UK champion with Pete Dunne. They had the kid that won it, whose name is...
He does independent shows, right?
They all do. The 3 of them do. Well, excuse me, there's a couple of them, I believe, that are under contract. Jack might be under a different contract, but they've been doing...
Which blows my mind. I would have thought he would have been solely under a WWE contract the way he was being used at one point.
I think Jack may be, but the facts, I'm like 95% certain that he wrestled on that Progress Wrestling show. Hunter again, this is my theory. He took some of the best wrestlers in England, put them under contract. They wanted to do shows over there. I don't think it's cost effective, but essentially keeping a lot of those under a certain sort of contract, they establish control and they can kind of fill their dates where they want to go, which is a good problem to have. But they are working elsewhere too. It's pretty. I don't think they have much plans for the UK title. Like, there's no thing unless every now and then you throw it on NXT or maybe you see it on Raw, but that UK title you just don't hear a lot about.
Is there a promotion called Regress?
No, but I'd love to start that up. Maybe I'll start promoting that.
Looking for more bookings for myself. Sorry.
What else we got
I like
this
making
week?
fun of myself. I don't know. You're the news guy. You're supposed to fill me in on everything going on.
Okay. God damn it. Figure of speech. Here's what we
I don't
got
want to
this
look
week.
like a fucking mark that I got to go look at dirt sheets for the goddamn fucking wrestling notes, Pat. I told you this. I do know John Jones failed his drug test. Right?
Let's go there. John Jones has failed for this, I believe, the second time. This is a game changer for everybody, dude. I don't know. UFC just got kicked in the dick because of this. This is really bad.
They might have, but isn't Connor starting his own promotion possibly?
It hasn't been announced, but when he's making hand over fist money from this fight, he can't go back to fighting for $3 to $4 million. He can't. So,
I mean, he can. It's still, but I know what you're saying. Yeah,
well, I'm saying if he walks away with over 100 from this pay-per-view,
which after taxes though is going to be anywhere probably 40% somewhere in that neighborhood, 38%.
I mean, sure,
but still, he's making a shit ton of money in one lump sum. Yeah,
but when you have that, what would you? They're going to have to give him ownership some way. He needs a percentage of the company, or else he's not. They got to work that out, because I would just think, if I was him, what would you do? Well, you need to give me ownership of the company, part of it, or I'm going to start my own thing. I mean, who wouldn't watch? Connor has a whole undercard and he fights in the main event and he gets the whole gate and gets the whole buy rates. That's what the smart move would be.
He's into that mindset of working for himself. It's
sure.
Very powerful. Yeah, he's that guy. He's a big believer in the law of attraction and the whole secret and all that of just manifesting your destiny and believing and putting in the work. And he, though, is luckily in a field where he can go out there and control the outcome. Whereas in wrestling, that's not the case. So it doesn't work quite as well in that field. But, yeah, the Jones, it's unfortunate. I know I read something where the first one was on the trainers, supposedly. He had no idea. He just does what his trainers give him, takes what they, which is kind of, you know, who knows how.
I think he's full of shit. That's my opinion.
I don't know. I don't know. Some people don't have any clue about nutrition or supplementation, though. So I've seen it. So, but a lot of athletes tend to know that, but not to say all of them have to, and whatnot. But for it to happen again, it's tough. I know isn't it a 4-year ban? Is that what he's looking at?
Okay, so that he's facing. Here's what happened the first time. So first of all, he's had the drug issues. He crashed his car while on cocaine, tried to flee the scene. So he had the issue with that. He had another issue where he fought Daniel Cormier. He tested positive, which he's still to this day denies. He agrees he tested positive, but he said that it was due to, I swear to God, it's due to like a Cialis, basically he loosely said it was a boner pill, and that's why he, following that up and then coming back from, for this one too, the rumor drug was Turinabol right now. That's what I've been hearing. It's just to me he comes across incredibly, and like he had the drug issues. It seems like he cleaned up. He got in trouble with a quote boner pill. Then now it's, he fights Cormier. He was in the best shape of his life, and this happens. Like it just seems like that he. I don't think he's being honest at all. I think it's going to come out that I'm not tipping my hat like, oh, maybe it's a false positive. I think he's full of it, and I think that he should have been. On paper, or skill wise, I actually think he would beat Brock. I really do. I think if he gained a little bit of weight, the way he moves, the way he strikes, his ability, he's
incredible.
Incredible. 6'4". He walks around at like 230 pounds. He fights at 205. He's built for fighting. He has better length reach than anyone in UFC. But this dude, like, I don't want to say his career's over because it'll never be over. That 4-year term happens when the USADA, which it probably will. He'll fight after that, but you just put himself on the shelf, man. And also the UFC killed. He's one of the biggest draws. They just lost that. It's gone.
I think though with the appeal with Brock though is, and everything you said is I think very accurate. But I think the whole appeal with Brock is, and his whole thing is, if he can just get a hold of you and get you down, he could usually overpower you over time, which I think he would overpower him significantly, even though. But so I like interesting matchups like that. That's why I think that would have a good appeal. But like from a technique and skill standpoint, John Jones is incredible. So I don't know. It sucks. I don't know what the deal is with that, but I was looking at it from, what really is unfortunate is, from Cormier's standpoint, in a fighter, if you lose, you lose, no matter what. Like in his mind, even if they reverse the decision or anything like that, it's the outcome still happened. Yeah, it's just from a mental standpoint, it's really, really tough. Even though you can say, well, maybe it was because of that. He doesn't fully know that. You know what I mean? What level? How much did that contribute to the win? You'll never know. Little guy whining. He probably has to go to the bathroom here, but it sucks. We'll see what they come out with on it, but it doesn't look good for right now.
Yeah, his manager came out today and gave a lengthy, poor little guy, a lengthy statement defending him, saying how, and his manager needs to take a fucking writing class, like everything. Things didn't sound right. So, but I don't know, man. I don't think, I don't, this isn't a good situation, and you gotta get the dog.
Let's just hit pause real quick. We're going to pick right up. I gotta just let him outside. He has to go.
So basically, I just think the whole situation sucks for UFC. They're going to miss out on that Brock Jones fight. Unless WWE, honestly, the only place I could touch Jones now would be WWE, if they even choose to do that, because there's no It doesn't look good, man. It looks really, really,
said
really bad.
He can't fight for any promotion, right? As far as like any fighting promotions.
So the way it works is that with the USADA is one of the, or they call it USADA. I think it stands for something, but they were saying USADA. They test more rigorously than any Quest or any sort of like steroid or doping agency. They find everything.
Yeah.
So that's who UFC uses. Now, if Las Vegas suspends his license, from what I've been told, that there's like a chain of, I don't want to say respect or certain laws or certain things where, you know, it's not like he can go to fight. And even though it's from, I think, state to state, other states won't honor that if he's suspended for this reason. Because I think that, you know, UFC being big business or even MMA in general, somehow it would reflect bad on the state if he were to be approved there, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So like if he went to like, okay, well, I can't fight for UFC because I can't get my license here. Can I fight for UFC in Philadelphia? Well, they got to grant you a license. Will they do that? Probably not, because they'd be going against, it'd be like bad ethics.
Yeah.
So he technically won't be able to fight for anywhere because there's like kind of a code, or there actually might be legal. I'm not an expert. I don't know much about this, but I believe there's some sort of legality with being a licensed MMA fighter and failing for this. That's what I think.
What if WWE, they did this with Ken Shamrock, which was in a different scripted environment. What if they brought back the Lions Den match for Brock Lesnar versus John Jones, but they just let him go out there and really fight?
Bring back, call it the Beast Pit or something. Let him go at it.
Yeah, what are the Beast Pit?
I was trying to think of the Beast Den. I don't fucking know. Could they? Yeah, they fucking could. They can do whatever they want. You can go there tomorrow.
They treat it all. They have a legit mixed martial artist referee in there, but they present it like people think. Maybe they do the promos and everything, but they just let them go out there and really fight, and they have the real ref in there. Does that legally get, or would that come? How would that work? Because there's not with licenses and all that. They present it as a wrestling event, and they have the wrestling at a pay-per-view. They do it at WrestleMania, the Lions Den match, or whatever, the Beast fucking Pit, whatever you want to call it. Fucking Mark guy. And then let them go out there, and we present this as a fake wrestling thing, but it's really the real deal.
I think they could get away with it. I
just want them to do it.
Who's
just for the repercussions in case that he does. Wait, what?
WWE ends because of the Beast Pit.
Yeah. Which we'll know they're listening to the podcast if that goes down now.
I just thought that, I actually thought maybe he would be involved because, I mean, WWE seems to be good with, or more open to, the crossover appeal. Apparently Ronda's training with Brian Kendrick for
That's cool.
a wrestling thing. So Jones can't go anywhere. He's going to have to do something. I don't know what's going to happen. It's too early in the. He could get off. We could be totally out of line talking about this, but the way it looks right now, it looks like not good. It's not going to be a good situation.
All I'm picturing right now is Ronda Rousey on Total Divas. She's just one of the girls, just there.
But she doesn't say anything. She just
no. I'm just picturing her.
Quiet.
No, and then a whole other character, just doing Too Sweet with the other divas.
Jesus.
What else is going on? The what's it guy? Our buddy JD told me about this. I guess Dana Brooks' boyfriend died. It was some big bodybuilder guy. He was pretty young. Did you hear about that?
I saw that. Dallas McKeever.
McCarver,
should know
maybe?
his name. McCarver. Yeah, that's it.
That's what he said. I guess
passed away at 26. Yeah, if you know the situation, please relay.
No, I don't. I don't know anything about it other than what JD was kind of. JD kind of keeps up with everything going on, and he's more involved in the fitness community than I am and all that. But supposedly he choked, and now it was just right before we started this podcast. He was voxing me and letting me know that I guess it was maybe due to a possible from insulin, which is something a lot of bodybuilders do to try to gain more size, which is extremely dangerous, and many people have died from it. And he was a very big kid, and I don't know what this isn't, I don't know firsthand what he was doing or wasn't doing, but it's unfortunate a guy that young has to pass away. But that whole industry, and that's why I always said when drugs are involved in anything, there's no regulations on it, and one guy sees one guy doing this, and I'll just do this, and it sucks. And I don't know, and that's not. It's just that's too young to be passing away from something. So
yeah, it sucks.
Yeah, not cool. I feel bad. Dana's a really, really sweet girl and nice human being, and I truly hope she's all right and all this, which she's not going to be. It sucks. It's not. But I wish her the best, because it's not a cool thing. So
it seems like a really just rough industry where it's like risk versus very little reward. I don't know if I'm sure there is, but
I'm shocked The Rock is getting involved with it, to be honest with you, with everything he has going on. And why the fuck of everything, like, would you want to be associated with a Mr. Olympia? And it's not nothing. Those guys, they all work really hard in the weight room, but the entire thing revolves around how much steroids you do. It's really, it's not cool, man. And we're at a point where I feel like we have to go in the other direction. It's like, people did it. They thought it was fine for a while, Arnold and all those guys. And so many guys do it. How many guys look at Arnold? I love Arnold. And he did it and was successful. It just creates a bad fucking example for people. Like, so it sucks. That's why I wrote about that in my book. And it's not a good thing, man. And
how much has the scene changed from a time of like Arnold's until like now? What do you see the big differences
so you
are
look
in
at like
bodybuilding?
wrestling, everyone's always trying to outdo each other and evolve or do more. That's what generations do. They see previous generations, and you get people, you want to be better, and you want to, so there's only so much the human body can evolve physically, naturally. There's only so good you can look naturally. So and you introduce steroids and these things that will change your physique. And you could take a pill, or you could take an injection, and then you could drink and eat whatever you want, essentially. You really can. And there's these guys, they diet, and they bust their ass. They're a whole other level. But I'm saying even just regular people and stuff, there's stuff that you could take that just melts body fat off of you. You don't have to do anything outside of taking that pill or that liquid or that injection. So it's you have people that you see, you have all these guys, and they look up to these guys, and they decide to get into this industry. And that was always the reason. I remember Jay Cutler seeing me when I was 20 years old working at Gold's Gym and 240 pounds, and naturally, and he goes, "You should be a bodybuilder." And I lifted weights, and I go, "No, I want to be a wrestler." And that was before I realized, I was like, that wrestlers, a lot of how involved at that time, what was involved with it and whatnot.
Yeah.
Because I never wanted to be a guy that got involved in where your success depends on how much drugs you put into your body. And at that level, that is what it comes down to. Because, and granted, I love Jay Cutler. I admire his work ethic. But that field, that industry, that's what you're dealing with. And you got these young guys, and people want to be famous, and they want attention, and there's extreme health risk involved in that. It's too young to be going, man. I just don't. It's when you look at another guy and you go, well, like, he's doing this and I'm working out this hard, and well, what else can I do? There's nothing else I can do, but I could take more of this. That's what it comes down to, and that's why I don't like it. So,
okay,
yeah.
The last thing I got with maybe it's a feel good story for wrestling. Actually, a certain person was hired at WWE this week, and but the story I want to say is, excuse me, as someone drives by my apartment. Can't think of a wrestler this week.
Wait, hold on. Because I was just trying to go through my Rolodex of wrestlers who came out on a motorcycle.
Chains. DOA is riding by my apartment.
There we go.
Right now.
There we go.
So let me tell you this story. It's a little bit of like a feel-good story because this has to do with something that happened this week. A couple years ago, and I have it in front of me, it was actually on June 14th, 2014. I got a message on Facebook. And this guy wrote to me. It said, hey, my name is so-and-so. I want to be a part of your next show. If there's any possible spots, I'd like to work for you. And he gave me his gimmick name. So I watched this, and it was a video of him just working out.
Okay.
It made no sense. It was kind of like, what the fuck? Like, what's wrong with this guy?
Working out like weights or in the ring?
He's like kind of a mix of both, but more so like weights.
Okay.
Like he's doing like power ropes, battle ropes in the video.
Sounds like my kind of guy.
Maybe so. But I replied back. I said, "You need to get trained, dude. This isn't even a match. Like, why are you sending this to me?" And he wrote back. He's like, "I've been training for 7 months. I'm training in MCW. I had my first match. It was a battle royal. I also did a choke slam spot on a show." And I go, "Look, man," I go, "you need a lot more experience." I go, "My roster's filled with guys at least like 3 to 4, 5, 6 years in." And he wrote, "Yes, sir. Thank you for your time." Now, I didn't know this. Years later, I went to book this person because they were making a name for themselves, and I needed an opponent for somebody. And it was Leo Rush, the guy who just got signed this week. So he definitely took the advice, got trained, did really well in a short amount of time, and 2 years later, he's under WWE contracts, which I thought was pretty mind-blowing. I thought it was more mind-blowing when I went to book him on Facebook to type to him. I was like, holy shit, that's the same kid. Like, the one that made this crappy music video.
He's worked for you, too. I know he was at his show that he wrestled Cody, didn't he? That one I wrestled Brian Cage on, he wrestled Cody.
Cody and Bocara that night, and it was a fucking great match. And but yeah, he did it, and he's worked for me a couple times. But good kid and super athletic. But that's pretty crazy how quick something like that could happen. Like 2014, doesn't seem like he knows what he's doing. Flash forward, he's going to be a pretty good. If they do the right things with him and he keeps his head on straight, he could have a lot of success.
You think so?
I think so. I think he has like this factor about him that he has a Rey Mysterio like appeal. But I really hope that being so young, he doesn't have. I hope he doesn't lack the maturity because he's young, dude. He's like 22 or 23.
Okay.
So that's a new world to get into that I hope he's ready for, and that I think that will be more important to his success rather than what he does in the ring because he's already pretty incredible in the ring.
Yeah. No, that's a cool story. So, seems like a nice guy. I think I met him. He was at the one show. So yeah. It's good for him. That is, we'll see how that all goes.
That's all I got for wrestling news.
Yeah, that's the only other thing I noticed from Summer this week on from TV. Bobby Roode debuted and Shelton Benjamin's back. So congratulations to those two guys.
I didn't know Shelton was rehired.
Yeah, he was on SmackDown this week. He's going to be tagging with Gable. It looks like your buddy Gable, who who you have conversations with on Instagram, apparently. But
late night conversations. Wink, wink.
Yeah, Jesus. So that's congratulations to those two guys, and yeah, that's it on the news I have this week. You want to do get some tips in here before we go to break?
Let's, please.
All right, guys. Tips of the week here. Tips of the week. Yay. Book this week. The match I'm not going to do. I watched a few, and I wasn't happy with any of them. So,
well, why don't I pick one? Because we just studied one at the old Creator Pro school.
I saw that. I was going to actually try to watch it, and I couldn't find that particular one, I feel like. So go ahead, because I like to watch it before. I don't want to just say a match, and I don't have one that off the top of my head, so.
WrestleMania 11, it was Razor Ramon versus Jeff Jarrett, and they did such simple stuff. The timing was perfect, but I think it was such simple, creative stuff that it was still applicable to like today's standards. And Jeff, like the way he was, but there was definitive good guy, definitive bad guy. Everything was interesting, but I love that match, and I showed my guys, and we were doing spots from that match today.
I actually saw that on your Snapchat. You know what I like most is I love, and I remember Hunter actually said this up there, and I think I've talked about this before. He goes, "Why don't guys bump on punches anymore?" And it was in Gorilla, and that's one thing. Jarrett would feed in for a punch and take a clean bump on it, and I always thought that looked. Yeah. I always liked that myself, and it's make that punch mean something.
Mm-hmm.
It's which a lot of guys, it's just a different. Well, I got to show everybody that I could do everything in the book athletically to show them that I want this, and rather than go out there and make the simple things look really, really good. So those guys they get it. I'm going to actually go back and watch that now. I'm glad you. I couldn't tell from the brief clip. I didn't know where it was from. And they have. I actually pulled up a match. They have a match of theirs from TNA that I want to go back. I have it on my YouTube pulled up to watch later on. But book of the week this week is Unscripted: Life, Liberty, and the Pursuit of Entrepreneurship by MJ DeMarco. And I'm about quarter of the way through it so far, and it's a 17-hour book. So I got my work cut out for me this week on this one. But I'm loving it so far. So check that out if you're interested in creating your own life and working for yourself. Quote of the week: courage does not always roar. Sometimes courage is the quiet voice at the end of the day saying, I will try again tomorrow, by Marianne Radmacher or Rodmacher. I apologize. I don't know the exact pronunciation of her last name. Nutrition tip of the week: if you're addicted to Cheetos or hot Cheetos, you like hot Cheetos, Pat?
Yeah, sure. Who doesn't?
You like to get high and drink a little and eat some hot Cheetos late at night?
I don't think so, but sure.
Okay. Well, guys, if that's your deal and you can't give it up, try the baked Cheetos or the baked hot Cheetos. They make both now. It's those small changes like that can help you. And not saying go get. I'm just looking at it from there's some people that are like addicted to chips and other things, and the baked versions have significantly less fat than the regular ones. So, and not saying go, but even if you're eating regular whole bags of hot Cheetos and you get the whole bag of the baked Cheetos, you're still doing better than you were doing the whole bag of the regulars. So, and I've had both and they taste amazing. So, just little changes like that. And maybe you only eat a quarter of the bag and you don't really do that much damage to yourself. And you like just little things. Look for healthier options is what I'm saying.
Have you tried the Quest chips? Are you a fan of those at all?
I actually used to buy those every week when I was on the road. And I would always have them at home, the protein chips. I love the barbecue.
Yeah. They changed the flavor on a lot of them, and it's way better now.
Is it really?
It's delicious. Yeah, I have sea salt, salt and vinegar, sour cream and onion. I actually don't really like the barbecue, and cheddar and sour cream.
Yeah.
4 grams of carbs, I think 20 grams of protein. I love them, man.
Well, fuck, you just gave people double nutrition tips for the week, Pat. I could have used that for the future. No,
sorry, pal.
That's great advice. Actually, it's way better than the baked to eat those than the baked things. The baked ones, though, they are so much healthier though than the regular counterparts as far as the fat content on them and whatnot. But the Quest protein chips, I love all the flavors they have. I didn't know they improved. I haven't had them now probably in a year. I'm gonna order them. Yeah. I'm gonna order them on Amazon. I used to order them all the time, and because they're low carbs too, I believe.
4 grams of carbs per bag.
Yeah, so they're keto friendly. So, yeah, that's by Quest. They have the protein bars too that have the stevia. So, on a few of the flavors. Workout tip of the week, guys. I just gave this tip to Rusev because he's leaning out. He looks incredible if you've seen him. But I got him on the P90X, Ab Ripper X 1, 2, and 3, mixing it up because those things will get your abs shredded doing that over time. But also I always tell him to do weighted abs 1 time a week. And when doing weighted abs or any other, when doing any weighted abs or any ab workout, try holding for 3 to 5 seconds per rep to really engage your core. And it blasts your abs from a whole other level. Because a lot of times you'll see people, they don't treat their ab workout like other body parts. And I've always talked about this when you're doing these reps, whether you're lifting heavy or not, really engaging and squeezing the muscle, that you're trying to really mentally focus on that muscle that you're working. Abs are no different. A lot of us will do abs and we'll just kind of like try to go through the motions. I'm going to do 15 reps. You could do fucking 6 reps and get way more out of it if you actually really, you say you're doing a weighted ab movement on a machine. Rather than just going up and down and just doing the move, go do the movement, go down and hold it and squeeze and actually feel that tension for 3 to 5 seconds and let your actual core muscles start getting engaged, and then relax, go back up, back down, and still do a weight that you could do for whether it's 12 reps, 15 reps, 10 reps, whatever you're doing. But doing that, you will notice how much better your abs get over time with that, because you're actually allowing your core to strengthen and engage and hold that weight rather than just up, down, up, down, up, down. And people don't concentrate. And I see it all the time. And it's just it's hold for 3 to 5 seconds, squeeze the muscle, get your money's worth out of the exercise. You're going to do it fucking right. And that's it for tips of the week.
I have a question on the ab stuff, because like I've been trying to make more of a conscious decision training abs. I did a whole oblique workout. I cramp there more than any place else, to a point where I can't continue. What the fuck is causing that? Is it just that my abs are weaker?
Yeah.
Like,
you're not in.
Is that what it is?
You need to. You have to start. You have to build it up. You are
okay.
That is. Many people have weak cores, and it's one of those things that I've done things before, and I told you, like at the MMA training stuff, and where I had done abs earlier in the day. I did my P90X. I remember this happened one time. I did P90X abs earlier in the day, and then I went and I did my boxing, and then I did my Muay Thai after boxing, and I sweat profusely. And I'm drinking water throughout it, but I'm losing a lot of fluids. And at the end of the Muay Thai workouts, he would usually blast us with a hard conditioning thing. And this particular day, it was straight legs on the ground, doing straight sit-ups with your legs straight, and the guy taking the Muay Thai pad and fucking hitting you in the stomach as hard as he could with it. And I remember, I think we had to do 100 of them after we did something else before. And maybe they were duck walks before. And I remember at the end of that, I started cramping just really, really bad. But I was dehydrated really bad from just sweating so much. But it was an exercise I hadn't done that one before. And I had done abs earlier in the day too. But doing different things will engage muscles you're not used to working sometimes. So I think it was a combination of probably just your core isn't as strong as you need it to be.
Okay, that's why that's causing cramps. It's not
dehydration. But you take electrolytes, right?
I do.
So if you're taking your electrolytes and you're not cramping in other areas, it's probably because you're undertrained in those areas. As far as your body, you got to think how much our abs. I like to train them twice a week. One with weights, one with high reps with P90X, one of their workouts. And or maybe try taking more electrolytes just to see. Maybe it was a day you were maybe you were a little dehydrated, you didn't know it, or your electrolytes were a little off. But I think if you do it time and time again, say you start doing that ab workout twice a week, I bet you within a month you're not cramping.
Okay.
So you give it some time. Yeah. That's it for tips of the week.
All right. Do we move on to reviews, or we take a second break?
Let's go ahead and hit me with some reviews, and we'll take a break after that. I'd like to see what do we got this week.
So I lost the ones that were from England, unfortunately.
God damn it! Ring this. Not ringing. Oh, so mad! I wanted everyone to hear that. Jeez, really
I had the message. I'm sorry. Maybe next week we can do that, but I couldn't find a fan sent them in, a listener, excuse me, and but okay. So here's a
really chaps my ass. You lost those, Pat. It really just
all right.
You let me down tremendously. I really, really wanted to send my products over there with that shipping. God damn it.
From A Point TZ. I enjoy listening to the podcast. It makes my day go by. Thank you guys for what you have to say. Keep up the great work. Short and sweet, but only 4 stars.
Short and too sweet.
Short and too sweet.
I think I'll come out with a stevia sweetener called that.
Hell of an idea. Next one is Archie Sandoval. 5 stars for the big guy and Pat Buck. And yes, we do this because it helps. These reviews help the algorithm of the show, helps us put us in a higher class on iTunes. So we appreciate them, and we will read them if you write them. Conversation with the big guys where it's at, from helpful gym tips to nutrition, and latest the happenings of pro wrestling. You're guaranteed to laugh and better your life. If you want some positivity, here's a secret. Listen to the podcast and you shall attract it.
I love that one. I think that is a great review, and I want to say on top of that, you're talking about the leaving the reviews and whatnot for the algorithm of the show. everybody ordering the Feed Me More Nutrition products on Amazon, I appreciate your reviews and the 5-star reviews. It helps me tremendously with Feed Me More Nutrition on Amazon, showing up better on the searches. So if you buy your products off of Amazon, I greatly appreciate it if you guys could go ahead and leave a review on there, and preferably a favorable one, and it means the world. So thank you. And with that said, I'm going to go with choice number 2. What's the name again?
I did have a number 3 here.
Go ahead. Sorry. From the States, right?
Number 3. Yes.
Okay.
By Joe, man, this is a hell of a list. Joe 777777 15123. I began listening to the podcast to hear the inside stories about wrestling. 1 year in, I'm still a fan. I like the entertaining dialogue and the skits between the two. The workout advice has helped me motivate me, can stay consistent with the gym. I live in Las Vegas. At any time, if you have a workout, you can find me at the EOS gym. If Pat is the one reading this, make sure the big guy knows the money he can save on shipping if he selects a Las Vegas local.
Well, I would never choose anyone based on their location, just so he knows that. What is his name?
Joe 777777145123.
God, I'd hate to. How many numbers were taken for him to have to choose that? Jeez. I don't like to pick winners based on location or anything of that nature, but I really think he left a really, really good review, Pat. And I know I said choice 2 before I heard choice 3, but I didn't hear it, so I needed to hear it, and he's our winner, Pat. And us Las Vegas guys, we stick together. The battle-born, bred and fed guys. That's what we do, and you're our winner. So go ahead and contact me at thebigguy@feedmemore.com.
This has nothing to do with the fact that you're going to save a little bit on the old shipping.
Well, it was we had all domestic people. Shipping wouldn't have been ridiculous to begin with, but it's it's good to see that we have listeners in Las Vegas tuning into the show and showing their support for the local hometown boy. So it's nothing more than that, Pat. And I don't know, I'm a little insulted that you would imply otherwise, but you're our winner. So please contact me, and Sin City for life, brother.
And with that note, let's take a break. Hey everyone, in addition to being the co-host of this podcast, I'm the founder and promoter of WrestlePro. Dare I say, WrestlePro puts on the best professional wrestling live events in the country. We're also fully insured and licensed. Now, if you're listening to the show, then you clearly love professional wrestling, and I appreciate that. But I also have a question for you. Would you like professional wrestling in your area, maybe in your hometown, your high school, your college, your civic center, your stadium? Whatever you want. If you're a civic group, a sports team, a fire department, a police department, if you have a corporate event, a festival, any group that is looking to raise funds or put on an entertaining show, WrestlePro is your promotion. This is not your regular wrestling show. Just in the last year, WrestlePro has brought in incredible talent such as Terry Funk, DDP, Booker T, Ryback, Cody Rhodes, Hornswoggle, Colt Cabana, Brian Cage, Jeff Jarrett, Tommy Dreamer, the Hardy Boys, Scott Steiner, and much, much more. Even the Nature Boy Ric Flair has been with WrestlePro and loves it. Tell him, Nate.
It's the Nature Boy. Woo! Ric Flair, WrestlePro, the Nature Boy, signing autographs. Look as only can look. WrestlePro, be there. Woo, 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 woo. Limousine riding, jet flying. Woo! WrestlePro. Woo!
If you're seriously interested, WrestlePro can bring a live wrestling show to your town. A full professional wrestling card complete with talent, 8 matches, sound system, lighting, the works. We design the artwork and posters. We help you sell the tickets. We push all of our events all over our social media. We believe in good repeat business. Packages and prices vary on talent requested and their availability. For more information, contact me directly at WrestleProOnline@yahoo.com or simply check out www.wrestleproonline.com and you can see our past and upcoming events to get a taste of what WrestlePro is all about. I hope to hear from you soon. Okay, we're back. It's time for a little bit of questions. We're running a little heavy. We're going to do a little rapid fire style, but we'll get to them. First off, from questions last week, shout out to the Van Brony who said that Apparently, the F5 was invented by Sean O'Hare, he claims.
Okay.
And he also said that Brock modified the move, saying he saw it on Japanese tapes, because we had that last week. And he also said the Doomsday Cutter has been done by some indie team. He's seen it before.
Okay. Very cool.
So, getting to the questions this week.
I got a question!
Someone asked again, Paul Tomlinson, Penguin Man 5000, about the air fryer.
I looked
if
it
you
up,
saw it.
actually. I did look it up, and it looks very interesting. I don't, if I, on my keto days, every once in a blue moon, I will, I've now discovered, is it Post? There's the Uber delivery, but they don't deliver to my area where I'm at here.
Uber Eats.
Uber Eats, but there's Post, is it Postmates?
Okay.
I think that's another delivery service. They now deliver to my house, and I now Buffalo Wild Wings. I'll just if I want some wings, I'll have them delivered, and right to my door. And I don't. If I'm not going to use an air fryer, the only thing it would be for would be chicken wings. I feel like.
Interesting, yeah.
But they're not going to compare to those Buffalo Wild Wings. And money's not an issue, guys. I'll pay for it.
I got a question!
From Hebon on Twitter, Ryback, have you thought about having a female valet on the indies?
So we said this is going to be rapid fire. Legitimately, this is something I could talk about now, which I just talked to her today. Me and Cody have an elaborate plan where I go the big guy with Phoenix Marie, and she is more than willing. She would love to do wrestling appearances with me as my valet and promote the big guy test booster during the signings and be my valet. And we have this whole shtick worked out where, like, she goes to talk on the mic, but she, like, has the microphone the opposite way to, like, because it looks like a dick.
I get it.
Yeah. Just explaining it to her. And well, I'm explaining this to everybody listening. If you don't know who Phoenix Marie is, look her up. Her real name is Melissa, as I know her. And so it has been thought about. And I think but I'm happy with the run right now. Everything is still good. So I don't need it. I'm still hungry and going out there and feed me more. I don't need to add anything quite yet. But when the time is right, you never know.
Okay, from Mega Manic or Maniac 2008 on Twitter, dear Ryback, what match inspired you to become a wrestler? Thank you in advance.
Whew, what match inspired? I just always wanted to do it. I don't think there was no particular match that I watched and I was like, oh, I got to do this. It was just, I always just wanted to do it. So,
okay. From this guy asked last week too. I don't want to skip him. From LJ John D on Twitter, he always wondered when a wrestler says that they're the hardest worker in WWE, what goes in that the viewers don't see.
So that's something I noticed, and I noticed Jinder's doing that, saying that a lot right now, and it was something that I mentioned numerous points in my career, and Vince directly told me himself, "You're the hardest worker I have," and Cena's came up and said it, and I don't, whatever. Everybody works hard at that level. Everybody works hard in different ways, but I would say things from studying tape and watching matches and being creative and constantly thinking about it, from your workouts, the conditioning level you put in and the intensity of your workouts, the time of your workouts, and just the preparation to the aspect of everything you put in your body. You're trying to constantly look better and feel better, and you are looking at it from a standpoint of, well, if I go out there and look like shit, I don't look like I'm applying myself as much as somebody that is. So, like, little things like that, and or three things off the top of my head that really come to mind. And again, it's taking care of yourself. It's stretching. It's trying to just constantly stay healthy so that you can constantly perform and whatnot. And a lot goes into it. And it's, when someone says that, it's not that comes from confidence saying that, and it's not to discredit anything anybody else is doing, because everybody works hard in their own way and whatnot. But when you're at that level, small little things make the biggest difference, and that's what I always meant by it. So
I got a question.
Okay, all right, let's continue on. We got a lot of questions. From Mr. Pio1 on Twitter. To me, Pat, how much can you bench press 220, or how many reps can you do for 225? He said his max is 60 reps, which I find a little hard to believe. You
Wait,
can do it
60
times. Yeah.
That would be, would that be a world record? We need to look.
You would think so, right?
Did we just get messaged by a world record holder, Pat?
Apparently so. I could do about 10 times and I'm done.
Oh, really?
Probably, I think.
Okay.
I think maybe 12 before I tear my pec.
I believe me and Mark Henry tied the record, which was, I think, 50. Was it 52? I don't remember.
I don't know. I remember.
It wasn't, I don't think, unless it was 60 something, but maybe I hold the record over this guy. I don't know.
This is a long-winded question from Bryce Johnson. Hey, Ryback and Pat. My wife goes to the gym 3 days a week. Could you recommend a well-rounded, basic, full-body workout routine for her?
Not on this podcast.
Right?
No, that's a little. I mean, that's it. Yeah, I can't. We don't have time for that. I'm sorry. This week, usually if you message any fitness professional, I mean, for them to come up with a detailed plan. You're gonna have to pay some money for that. I'm not saying I don't want your money. Off the top of my head, it's too much.
From Joshua, official Joshy H on Twitter. Was a Shield your idea, not Punk's?
Is this one of the assholes that are now running with a Ryback creative deal?
I don't know. I'm not sure.
No, it wasn't. I have no idea whose idea that was, and it was not mine.
I got a question.
From All I Need Is You on Twitter. Would Ryback consider making pre-workout and small on-the-go packages similar to Emergency that you can pour in water?
Not against it. I know right now, I just launched in January, so it's right now my focus is on growing the line and getting more products out there that work, and then I'll start fine-tuning things and whatnot based on the demand and like one of the goals is eventually, once I have the entire line out, it will then be offering a 5-pound protein, not just the 2.5 pound, things like that. So that's something that, again, once I'm getting over right now. This is to relate this into wrestling terms for the listeners. I'm in that phase right now of facing locals with the nutrition program, and everything is going great, and it's getting over. I need to continue that before I all of a sudden, start just throwing new things like that out. So in time.
Okay. From Max the Photo Hog on Twitter, or Photo G, excuse me. For Ryback, what did you think when you initially heard your theme music, and did you have any say when Jim Johnston made the final version?
The original, Cesaro always liked the first one before they beefed it up. Mm-hmm. And I'll never forget, I was out by the ring, and then Hunter and them called me over, and they go, "We want you to listen to this. We beefed up your theme music." And I'm trying. I liked it a lot. I really dig it, and I thought it was very fitting. But I liked that original because I kind of had the little head bob with it. There was a point, but I always told you the thing I liked most about that theme song was the little Jaws riff they had in it. I always thought that was really, really cool, which we put into that Feeding Time 2.0 eventually that we had redone for the Independents. But as Sophie comes over here huffing and puffing for playing with little guy, I had to let him out. He was whining too much. But I dug it, man. I had no input on it whatsoever. They just created it, and I liked it. I remember being really happy and just saying, thank God, because theme music is beyond important to getting over up there. So they did a great job in all the way around on that.
From Vanilla Gorilla on Twitter.
What up, man?
Question. As a self-admitted fat guy, should I focus on weight loss and start lifting, or lift while I lose weight? I'm 6'1", 270 pounds.
Melt the fat off all the way. I think you got to commit one way or the other, and you're just going to slow your progress down. Get that fat off. Get some people to tell you look skinny. Be offended, and then bulk the fuck up. And get rid of that body fat first. Get to where you get lean as shit. Get ripped, get shredded, where people think you're sick. And then you turn it around and you start packing on the muscle, eat clean, and putting on some clean gains. And that's my best advice to give to you on that.
From Skitch NM, Mike Malero, beach ball, streamers, out of place chants, messing up counts, too sweeting. How can promoters cut back on the annoying crap when wrestling audience start having fun for themselves and going too far in shows?
Charge more for tickets.
I guess. Oh, that was to me. I don't know.
Oops.
You can't. I didn't see it. I forgot about myself there. There's no streamers. I had a problem with. Oh my god, that was the worst because. As much as I love the guys, the crew that we have coming to the events, they were not streamers was meant to be thrown in for Japanese entrances only, or if like a big title switch happens. But the fans weren't that would go to the shows weren't used to that, and they would be, or some of them were just being dicks, and they were throwing them during the match
To try to hit a guy to get away with a way to throw something into the ring. That's what I feel like. Yeah.
And it was just such a distraction, and it was dangerous, and like it was. So we banned them. They were rough, but I don't have an answer for that. But good question.
Just better security at the door. Take away anything from them as they come in, and say, "Shut the fuck up, sit down, and watch the matches." That's
the answer.
Yeah, maybe not shut the fuck up, but just little guy wants my attention here. Come on, buddy. Sorry, my dog is very needy. He's very attached to me already.
From OCR Cody on Twitter, for a Spartan racer or an OCR athlete, I don't know what OCR means, would you recommend a keto or paleo diets?
Wait, a Spartan? What is that?
A Spartan's like a runner. A Spartan, I mean, gosh, I don't know.
Like an endurance marathon runner type deal?
Endurance runner. Yeah, they do a lot of, like a Spartan race, there's a lot of like obstacles and fitness-esque stuff like push-ups or chin-ups, I believe. But just endurance training person.
I don't know if, paleo is paleo have carbs in it as far as I know it's, I thought it was like meats and greens. But I think nuts and everything are involved in that too, right? Or if it grows, paleo is it grows, if it's from the earth, it's okay.
I think you're allowed to go up to essentially 150 to maybe 200 grams of carbs or natural grains when you're on a paleo diet. I think that's part of it. But yeah, the nuts, the things like that.
I don't know, because I know you start getting really good at burning body fat for fuel when you go keto, but I don't know on the. I'm sorry, little guy. Come here, goddamn it.
Dog's taking over this goddamn podcast. There you go.
He's being a little baby. I got to hold him like a little child right now. I would do. I think when you're doing endurance training like that, I feel like you need a certain level of carbs, unless you have your carb days in there at such high levels that you could do the keto. I would be more prone to do the keto because you could still do your greens with the broccoli on the keto and all that. What is your deal, buddy? But I don't know. I'm not a marathon runner on that. I'm not the best one to give him advice. I think you got to go a high carb diet and see how you feel, and then do a straight keto diet and see how you feel. And whatever one gives you the better performance running, the better results, go with that.
Last question from Kevin Woosley 5 on Twitter. If you guys run a budget and can only afford one supplement, what would it be?
I would go with protein powder.
I'd say the same thing.
Yeah.
And that's our questions.
All right. Ready? What do we got for the main event tonight, Pat?
Which we unsuccessfully have not talked about, even though we mentioned it last week. The best and worst wrestling T-shirts, in our opinion. We both made a list of our top fives and other things. So you want to get right into it since we're running a little bit heavy?
Yeah, let's go ahead and get into this here. It's the main event time.
Ladies and gentlemen, the following segment is your main event of the podcast.
And how do you want to do this? You want to list one each, all the way up?
Yeah, let's do that. I think we're gonna have some of the good shirts on the same list, but probably not the bad ones, maybe. So, you know.
Yeah, and I was thinking about this and trying. I have more than 5, I think, on each one, but I just wrote down ideas on this, different ones, and then I had to look, and I think it's across the board. I think the best ones, a lot of people, the best ones are the best ones across the board, but hopefully we'll have some different answers here. So I'll go ahead. For my number 5 for best T-shirt, I went with the Macho Man Glasses shirt. That one I see a lot of around.
The purple shirt.
The purple shirt. I think I like it, man. Anytime I see anybody that wears it to an appearance, I always put it over, and it's I feel like it's a really popular shirt, and it's the Macho Man, man. Who doesn't love the Macho Man? And
I thought I was being original. I had that on my list too.
Yeah, no, it's. I dig it a lot. I just personally really like that shirt. And these are just our opinions on all this. And number 5, I went with the. And it seems like this is a common theme with some of their shirts with WWE. On the bad is the Carlito. Do you spit or swallow shirt? I think just for outside of wrestling, but he never said that in wrestling either.
No,
it's just a sexual reference that if you, I think, wore that in public, it just kind of it gets you the wrong kind of attention.
Yeah, or a kid wearing that to school. It's like, wait a minute,
you can't wear that to school. No. So it's really, it's not a good. Not to say that I get it, totally get it on that, but it doesn't. It's not the best. I love Carlito. I don't think that's the best, and it wasn't his idea probably, but it's not the best wrestling shirt.
Obviously good shirts. We're gonna have that was on my list. I mean, we'll get it out of the way. DX is obviously one of the best shirts I think ever. The traditional DX one. They had some good ones, but just the original one I thought was awesome.
I had that also on one of my options. I'm not going to use that now because you used it, but the original Suck It shirt, right?
Yeah, the original one.
Do you notice a lot of the guys that get the good pushes today, they do references to either the NWO or DX, I feel like?
Yeah, I do notice that.
A lot of that. It is rarely, I notice that quite often. Me and Zigman were talking about that the other day. Who's back in WWE now in the exact same thing after going away for 6 weeks. So it's
one of the. Sorry, go ahead.
No, me, him, and the heater, Mark Carano. I told Zigman to set it up. We're going to go out to the strip club together. I want to see my good buddy Mark Carano and go to a buffet and go to the strip club, and then he goes missing late in the night. So, but I don't. You didn't hear that on the podcast. I'm kidding, Mark. This is all just tongue in cheek. Wink, wink.
One of the worst shirts I saw was Test. I love my testicles.
That's on my list as well. That's why I was saying the sexual references is. But again, did he ever call his fans his testicles?
He did. He most certainly did.
Wait, he did? Mm-hmm. Jesus Christ, what were they thinking?
I do remember this. I don't know if this was around the Stacy Keibler, but I remember this because I remember going, "Oh, that's kind of funny." But then when you can say that, but to wear the shirt is kind of another story. I think you got to be a pretty big Test fan to wear a testicle shirt.
The only way I could see that is wearing that into a bar with some drunk girls, and then they were like, and they come up all drunk. And, why do you love your testicles? And then it's like it might be a good conversation piece, and then you come back with what you're going to say to that, which is dependent on the person, obviously. But maybe it's a good conversation piece, but not with anybody worthy of a relationship, probably. But
that's a best case scenario. Imagine wearing that to like family dinner, or just that's.
Yeah. Oh my God. Awful. Just you go golfing in that with your in-laws, and they were like, yeah, this guy. What the fuck is wrong with this guy? Jesus. Yeah, he's on my list too, man. Did you give your second best one or no?
No, I can give another one. So this one I just like, and I think it's a perfect independent. It's a great wrestling shirt. It's actually Colt Cabana's shirt.
Really?
It's the I. Star of David Colt. So instead of saying love Colt, it's the Jewish Star of David. It's blue on blue. I just thought it was a simple design. I actually have it. I wear it a lot, but it was a home run. I thought it was really cool.
Okay. Do you ever get any weird eyes when you wear that out in public or anything, or no?
Never. I feel like it's like approved even by, if someone were to see that, like, oh no, he's a Jewish wrestler. That's
Okay.
You know.
I got on for another one of my best shirts. The original Roddy Piper Hot Rod shirt. It is to this day. I see it. It makes me feel good when I see it. It's simple, works, and it's. I miss him. He was a good guy, and I had great experiences with him. And I think I was his last one in WWE. Me and Rusev. I think I said.
Really?
Yeah, his last Piper's deal that he did on up there. It was with me and Rusev did a thing on there, and it was man, he was so appreciative and so cool in the locker room, and he always never saw him upset, man. So
I remember actually I don't know if the first time you met him was the first time I met him too, because I remember we were at Cincinnati in SmackDown, and this was when we were both in OVW, and I was booked as an extra, and you were up there because the whole under contract. And I remember like Piper was there, and we were like 10 feet away from him, and I'm like, oh, I said something, and he came walking over. He's like, oh, hey guys, like super friendly. Are you guys the locals? And we had like I don't know if you remember that. We had like a conversation with him, and he was just super cool.
Did I hit my head and go, no, I'm the big guy Ryback?
You weren't even
not even
you were
close to that yet.
You weren't even the Gorilla Man yet. You were
just the old. I think I was experimenting with Dr. Jarrell Silvers at the time.
I think so. Yeah, it was around that time.
I'm positive I was, by the way, on that. Yeah, I have some memories from that show. So, all right.
I had Hot Rod on my list too. So,
good. My another on one of my best ones, and then again I'm being a little. I got 4 more left on my best ones, and I just wrote down different ones. I didn't necessarily have 5. And this shirt did extremely well. So it's not necessarily the coolest shirt to. I don't know. The original Nexus yellow and black shirt, that sold really, really well, and it always has a special place in my heart because it was with everybody, and it was all of our shirts together, and it did really good numbers. So, and it was never the best-selling shirt or anything like that.
It wasn't really. I thought it would have been. Honestly, it was a really cool shirt.
No, I'm saying of all time. I'm not.
Okay, yeah.
No, at the time it did great. I don't know the specific numbers. I just know we were splitting royalties 7 or 8 ways and still getting a good amount of money for it. So I can only imagine what it would have been if it was just one of our shirts. So it was that one was on my list. And then another bad one was the Benoit Toothless Aggression. I thought was I remember at the time just thinking like, what the fuck? Nobody outside of even wrestling, it's like I get it, but I never liked that one.
I had one to go. I had the Nexus shirt on my list as well, but to go along with that, the bad ones, I had the Core shirt, which I thought was really rough.
I always liked their music. Wade had the music after that. I thought they had a good song that Wade ended up using by himself, I believe, for quite a while.
Did he? I don't remember.
He hated whatever the Core theme was. He hated it, I know, and I always liked it. But I think he hated the idea of the Core more than anything because it was a spin-off of the Nexus and all that.
The Nexus was edgy and cool, and the Core came across like there was no leader. There was no. It was almost like it was like an Occupy Wall Street felt like vibe where the Nexus was like cutting edge and like, oh, this is something like. People are going to get fucking, this is real. And then the Core was, you said it, spinoff.
Yeah. And it's, I wasn't there for that. I was out with my ankle injury and I just watched it. But I know Wade was never, Stu Bennett was never a fan of that period. I know that. So it's, I can't argue with that. It is what it is. Another one on mine. This is, and again, and I'm gonna do a joint thing. This might catch a lot of people off guard. It's but they're 2 shirts, and I'm pretty sure they did really, really good numbers. And just design and just to show that I don't hold a grudge on things on whether what I think about them as people. But the John Cena video game shirt, I thought at the time with it looked like the NES, the 8-bit shirt, that one, and the CM Punk black and red. With the fist, and the Lightning.
Yeah.
I thought those were two great designs, and I know they both sold incredibly well, and I'm sure they made a lot of money on those two shirts. And I always thought that. I remember when I saw that the Cena one at the time, I was like, that was a smart move. It was because at the time I don't think anyone had done that with the video game stuff, and I just thought that, and I don't know where he got it from or anything like that, but I thought it was for the audience and everyone watching that I was like, that was a smart idea.
On my good list, I actually had, man, we've named them all outside of Austin. I don't even think we need to even talk about that, obviously. But I had a honorable mention just because I was trying to think of like, okay, what was good in WCW? The NWO shirt, obviously. I don't even think we need to address that. So I thought about ECW, and I was like, what shirt stood out? Even though it was a parody, I think the BWO shirt stands the test of time as far as a wrestling shirt.
Yeah.
Like, I think that's one of, for...
They still do appearances as the BWO.
Yeah.
Which,
Yeah,
that far removed, I mean, to still do appearances that far removed says something that I think they definitely had an impact.
Yeah. I when I see the shirt, it's like, oh, it's like recognizable, even though it was a parody, but there's something there. So I picked that one.
And again, I'm just on my top two I had for my best shirts. It was the NWO black and white and the Austin 316. I just thought simple, effective. Stop it. I had to give him a spanking. He's chewing my chair as I'm trying to talk. This is the first time I have the little guy out during the podcast. Two simple shirts and they did incredible numbers. So that speaks for themselves. What do you have left for your worst shirts?
Oh, I have a couple good ones. Have you ever seen the Buff Bagwell
God
shirt?
damn it. That's what I got. I got that on my list with his kissy blue steel face.
Yes, and he has like a necklace on with his two earrings. Just says Buff.
I love Buff Bagwell. I was a big fan of his, and I saw that shirt though because I looked at the images too online to try to get some ideas, and I just go, oh man, like who outside women can wear that shirt?
Yeah.
But there's not
probably wouldn't,
but there's not as many women wrestling fans and I'm just thinking like what guy wrestling fan? I would be curious to know. I would love it if Buff contacted us and said, "No, man, I made this much money off this. I killed it with this shirt." Like that would be awesome. I don't think
he made. WCW didn't have royalties for merchandise. They waived that. I'm pretty sure the guys made none of the money. I think that's a thing.
Oh. That's God.
Because they weren't focused on that. They weren't good at that. That I'm pretty sure that
the
was
guys had higher downsides too, though, kind of during that period, didn't they?
Oh yeah, I mean, you got paid whether you did everything or nothing. Yeah. So I'm not. Don't quote me on that. I'm pretty sure that was a thing, though.
Man,
I have a couple bad ones too that may or may not be on your on the old list. Red Rooster Poultry in Motion shirt.
Never saw that one.
So apparently it was on a website where not many of them were made, and someone bought it off eBay for $405 because there's not many of them out there, and someone had to have it.
Mark for Life bought that, I believe.
It's going to be buried in it, yeah. Red Rooster Poultry in Motion.
I got my number one, but I'm going to save that. We probably have the same one. The shirt I never liked, and I love Christian, was his Hit the Switch shirt. I always remember when he would wear that when I was up there. I remember just like, wow, man, what a shitty shirt.
I don't even remember that.
I just never liked it. I just thought it just never came off. Even though he always wore it, and I'm sure he made money on it and whatnot because a lot of people like him. But I just thought it was sometimes they miss on things, and for me that was a miss. But maybe it was a win for him. I don't know.
Is that your number one?
No, I got one more left. So
I'm wondering if it's the same one. Does it have to do with someone currently on the roster?
As a wrestler or not as a wrestler?
As a wrestler.
No, it doesn't.
So we have different ones.
Yeah.
So my number one is the Sin Cara penis shirt. Have you ever heard about this?
I saw something with it yesterday, but I didn't. I couldn't tell. What was the deal with that?
So they released a T-shirt of his where it was the image was Sin Cara, but it was kind of a little fuzzy, and what he was wearing in it was like gold and it wasn't distinct, where it was kind of blurred in certain areas, and the gold only comes up to like his belly button, the jacket he's wearing, and then he's wearing white long tights. You don't see anything past the thigh area, but the way the shirt's blurred, it looks like there's just a penis coming up the middle of it. Like, it looks clear as day. Like, what the fuck is that? And it's just the pattern of his tights, but it's so distracting that they had to pull the shirt down. But I think that's probably the worst shirt of all time.
I love that all the bad shirts are all kind of have to do with sexuality.
Yeah.
My number one was, and it's a lot of people's number one, and I just don't see how you sell this shirt. I mean, it's funny. It's not, but was the APA Always Pounding Ass t-shirt.
I saw that.
I just think that when you create that, I'm like, with two dudes and like
yeah, two tough guys.
Two tough guys, and like, I get it. I know why they did it, and it's funny. But I'm just thinking, like, can you imagine going into high school or middle school wearing that shirt? You get the fuck beat out of you. You just get the living shit beat out of you. Wait, what do you like pounding ass? And then, like, just fucking destroyed by the football team. I just don't. I feel like I would like to know how many kids wore that shirt to school and got beat up. Any of our listeners out there, if you wore that APA Always Pounding Ass shirt, hit us up. I'd like to hear the story.
All right.
And that's it for me on my list.
That's it for me.
All right. Anything else you want to get in before we close out this week's episode?
No, leave a review on iTunes. We're going to be switching, possibly switching platforms soon. So your listen, your review is greatly appreciated. But you can follow me on all platforms. Buck Never Stops.
I'm at Ryback22 on Twitter, the big guy Ryback22 on Instagram, and Ryback247 on Snapchat. Special thanks to Nate at Takedown Piracy, who does a great job of getting rid of the content on YouTube that does not give us credit or anything like that puts out the shoot videos. And you can contact Nate at Takedown Piracy if you have a podcast and want to protect your podcast and the content going out. So big